Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and it's high time to vote Sponheim. We are asking Americans to write my name in, David Sponheim, in the upcoming election. We've got less than 8 months now before the upcoming election that will change the future of America. You have a choice between a right-wing fascist, who is a one-percenter, versus a left-wing Marxist, who's also in the 1% if it's Hillary. I believe that because money seems to be dominating American politics, let's start with that simple fact. Money is dominating American politics, okay? Some of you simply say, well, of course it is. You should expect that you need a lot of money to become President, David. You've fallen into the trap of being an imbecile. Politics is the one venue that we, the American people, have to change the dimension and take money out of the equation. You've got to vote. Is Trump paying you for your vote? Is Hillary paying you for your vote? Unless you're getting cold, hard cash from them, you can do whatever you want with your vote. And money cannot buy your brain. They think they can buy your brain by controlling the mainstream media, by censoring anybody like me. And I've had 7 years, going on 8 years of nonstop censorship. But you really believe that money is going to get us out of this situation? When we've already seen the power of printed money, the Federal Reserve, a private corporation, which is literally borrowing money left and right to finance the operations of our nation. Your taxes don't go to the operations of this nation, by the way. In case you're wondering, your taxes are merely going directly to the World Bank. They actually receive that money as an interest payment on the expanded debt that the Fed takes out in our name. And when they do buy treasury bonds, guess who sells the U.S. treasury bonds? The World Bank. They're the ones pulling our strings. Our government officials, our congressmen, our senators, that's all protocol. That's all a big facade. They basically work for the corporation called the United States. And that's something that many people don't realize. In 1872, the year after the Act of 1871, the first third-party candidate ran. And I've been saying this tonight. I was talking about how long this process has been going on, nearly 150 years. Third-party candidates have been standing up to this two-party tyranny, which supports the U.S. corporation, which was created in 1871 with the Act of 1871. And they operate out of the Commonwealth known as Washington, D.C. And they borrow money recklessly. And this corporation is not the holder of our assets. They're simply managing it for the Fed. And the Fed is managing it for the World Bank. The World Bank is sitting on close to $32 to $40 trillion in U.S. assets in gold. We can't get them to release it because the Federal Reserve is in the way. We need to retire and end the charter of the Federal Reserve, and we need to do that by the end of 2017. We need to build a separate infrastructure bank to power up this nation and to build U.S. jobs, and I've got just the plan to do it. A U.S. infrastructure bank offering 2% loans to U.S. businesses, hiring U.S. citizens at a living wage of $15 an hour. A simple plan that will help create the virality that we need in our business sector and create job growth. A simple plan, not very complicated, really simple. And the more simple it is, the more powerful it will be. So that's one step in the right direction, creating an infrastructure bank, and also ending the Fed, which is essential. But we also believe that ending wars is actually just as important. So we need to bring our troops home. This is a concept that we have on our site. It's one of our platform ideas. But ending the Federal Reserve and bringing our troops home go hand in hand. You see, the bankers want war. That's why our country's been at war for nearly 240 years of our national existence. And they continue to pretend like we need war by putting all these make-believe terrorist groups in front of our face, claiming that they're dangerous. And these beheadings of ISIS over the past 2 years we've been watching on television, they're so ridiculous. It's absolutely hilarious. Now, I'm not saying people haven't died, but they very well could have been faked. And because there's very little discovery going on in our nation, very little disclosure. I mean, we didn't even get an autopsy of Justice Scalia recently. A Supreme Court justice dies, He's on a hunting trip with a secret society of Masons who are run by this guy named Poindexter, who happens to own the place the Justice Scalia died. The truth is, they didn't do an autopsy. We don't know if he was shot the night before in the hunting accident and may have been laid there to rest because we never saw his body. I'm not holding out for a movie deal. I'm telling you, I haven't done this for a penny. I'm not about money. I've never been about money. I'm trying to explain to you I'm not materialistic. Why do you think I'm running for president? Because I don't think there are a lot of people like me. Frankly, I see most people in America struggling so hard to make ends meet that they'd do anything for money. We've asked a few people in our show, and I can ask you guys too right now. If you were offered $1 million, like that guy Mintz, the guy who claimed he was shot 7 times, defending the Umpqua Community College shooting and killing on the perpetrator who unknown, we don't even know who the guy was. He's dead now, and they're all dead except for this guy Mintz. He made $1 million. Would you lie about that event? Would you claim that you were shot 7 times if the government said, hey, we really need you to do this, and we're going to give you $1 million on your GoFundMe page? Would you do it? How many of you would lie outright? I don't have any tax returns, Kylo. I haven't worked in 5 years. I retired in 2010. Man. There's nothing to release, Kylo. Yeah. When you don't make money, you don't do tax returns. I don't have $5 million in the bank. Kylo, I kind of thought you were the wrong guy in the room, so we're going to pull you out of here. When I knew Kylo was messed up when he said that he liked Hitler's speeches. I was recanting before the show that Ivana Trump, in the deposition in the divorce with Donald, Ivana said that Donald had a copy of Hitler's speeches next to his bed that he read every night. And Kylo said he thought Hitler was a good speaker. I mean, really? I just can't believe anyone would even read his speeches after all the atrocities he committed in World War II. And think of what he did to Germany and how he destroyed that nation. Many people don't realize the truth about Adolf Hitler. The reason why he was chosen and handpicked to be the dictator in Germany was because he was called the Screamer. Back before they had loudspeakers, anybody who had a piercing voice and a tremendously dogmatic way of speaking was considered a good candidate for crowd control. So Hitler, who was known as the Screamer in World War I, by the way, because he was hurt and he had a couple shrapnel wounds and he was screaming like a banshee in the medical wards, was elevated to the power of dictator of Germany. He didn't do it on his own. He was financed by very powerful companies. Those companies are still in existence today in America. Ford Motor, Henry Ford, he supported Hitler. IBM did the counting machines for Hitler that tabulated the number of ethnic minorities that went into the concentration camps. J.P. Morgan and a family of bankers, including Union Bank of New York, which incidentally was run by Prescott Bush, they money laundered for Hitler. So you've got to understand, very rarely have you ever seen anybody come from nowhere and become a dictator. Donald Trump is parlaying his money on a ridiculous borrowing plan. He has actually only put about $250,000 into his campaign right now. Even though he has loaned his campaign $24 million, he's going to get that money back from donators. So Donald Trump has essentially put up his house. I could put up my house right now and take loans against it and borrow. And this is how he's operated for years. And that's the kind of person you want to lead a nation that's already tapped out of borrowing money. And then you got Bernie Sanders, who announced last week that he was going to borrow $15 trillion to create government jobs on top of our $19 trillion debt. I never got into a fake taxi, no. My solution for Mexican Americans is simply to create the fence, a 1,000-mile fence, and not charge Mexico. My idea has been around since 2008. Michelle Bachmann took my idea for a 1,000-mile fence. Donald Trump has taken my idea for a 1,000-mile fence and turned it into a wall, which Mexico is going to pay for in his mind. And last week, Vicente Fox, the former president of Mexico, and the current president said they're not paying for that effing wall. So you can clearly see that Donald Trump is a divider, and he's not a very good person, because obviously he's trying to do what Hitler did, ID certain subsets of our population, subcultures like Muslims. You know, we can deal with the possibility of terrorist groups much more effectively with special forces. Trump can't foreclose on America. Bottom line is, America is a sovereign unit. We are called the United States of America, and we are already in bankruptcy. We've been in bankruptcy since March 9th, 1933, in case you didn't know. That's a fact, Jack. All right? The United States Corporation, a different company, is what Trump would work with and continue borrowing money and weaken the bottom line for trade relations with other countries. He's already intimated in a conversation he had with the New York Times that he was willing to raise the tariff as high as 45%. Now, that can't be confirmed. It's hearsay at this point because none of those conversations have been made public. But my tariff idea that I came up with 7 years ago was a 15% ecological tariff on any country that doesn't comply with human rights and environmental standards. It's not in any way designed to jeopardize trade relations with a country as large as China. And that tariff would be implemented in a simple manner, and it wouldn't be a big deal. But he's all about big deal. He's all about pissing off China, just like Obama has pissed off Putin, calling him a jackass. He can't bankrupt the American corporation. It's already bankrupt. I told you that. We could get out of bankruptcy. We can retire the Fed. We can bring our troops home. We can do all the great things, and all it takes is you, the voter, to write my name in the upcoming election. We can totally throw a dagger into the two-party system and say, no, you cannot steal our country and sell it to corporate leaders. You can't hijack our nation and sell it to all your cronies that pay your big $55,000 plate dinners. That's what's going on in the two-party system. They're all about making money. We're not. I've proven to you over 8 years I'm not about money. I haven't made a dime doing what I'm doing. I'm not drawing a salary. I'm none of this. I do this because I care about this country and because I care about the fact that I have virtue. I have integrity. People like that, they're going to make deals with the darkest characters in our society. They're going to make them an offer they can refuse, but they can't refuse it. I mean, getting an endorsement by Chris Christie is your first indication that Donald Trump is on his way to doing the unspeakable, siding with the devil, essentially. Now, you have an opportunity as a voter to steer this country away from this tyranny. It's that simple. If you vote for two parties at this point, you're voting for the problem. You're voting for a new world order, which is exactly the wrong thing, because the new world order, it ushers in the slaughterhouse. This picture by Scissor Fight really symbolizes what we're up against here. The illusion of free choice. That we've been stuck in these two categories for so long, and they expect us to vote just like a bunch of beanheads, sheeple. And we're going to go, well, Republican will do it this time, or Democrat will do it this time, even though both parties are headed straight toward the slaughterhouse. What is the slaughterhouse? It's a Kurt Vonnegut novel. It's, Slaughterhouse 5. It's actually a scenario where our country is steeped in internal turmoil. The government declares martial law. Directive 51 is deployed, which was originally signed by Bush and then later by Obama, giving the president 6 months to verify to Congress that they need martial law. Meanwhile, they go door to door and they proceed to occupy your life and take you down. Now, if the New World Order plan goes forth under the two parties, their plan will be to create some sort of a pandemic. They'll create it. They'll artificially engineer a virus. And it'll be so horrible that everyone will have to get vaccinated. And if you aren't vaccinated, you'll be violating a law. Now, I can promise you, my plan does not have anyone force vaccinated. I don't believe in forced vaccinations. I believe that vaccinations may very well help, but most likely they're not a proven science. Okay, we're going to pull you out of the show too. Yeah, some of you are getting banned because you just don't have anything to contribute. I've got a lot of things on my mind tonight. We don't just, allow people. I believe that the zombie virus is in the manufacturing stage right now, Sir Waffles. I believe that they've created a crossover. In fact, I know that CDC has been working on a rabies Ebola virus vaccine. Pretty messed up. Indeed. It's scary. So I think that's the most likely method that they're going to deploy to create an environment of martial law. The reason why I believe that is because it's the quickest pathway to eliminating 80% of the population, which is their goal. It's no lie that the truth is that the rich people, instead of fixing the world, cleaning the air, filtering water and filtering air from carbon, dangerous pollution, instead of cleaning the oceans, they've turned them into cesspools. And the radiation leak at Fukushima, Barack Obama hasn't mentioned it since it happened 5 years ago. That's how little they care about things like that. They basically want to kill off the population. And, there have been many people, very wealthy people like Ted Turner, who's made statements to this effect. And I'll give you his most famous Audubon speech, where he said that he wanted to get rid of the population. It's just too much. They don't want to solve the water, food, and air crisis. They just want to get rid of the population. From their perspective, they own all this money, this power. They don't want you to share it.
We've got to stabilize the population. When I was born,
there were what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff. We're altering the climate and the world in so many different ways, and what we're doing is reducing the Earth's carrying capacity, so that each year the natural world gets poorer and less able to support the increasing number of people. We have a finite world, but an infinite ability to increase our population. We've got to stabilize population on a voluntary basis. Everybody in the world's got to pledge to themselves that 1 or 2 children is it. Right. And we've got to do that, because otherwise all the gains that we make in redoing our energy system are going to be erased by population increase.
Not true. Not true, no. Actually, we are looking at, there's been numerous advances in zero-point energy, and I can tell you he's not right. You've been brainwashed to think that we need to get rid of the population, 681. You're probably you're a graduate from one of the colleges, right? You read the book Limits to Growth, or whatever book they put out in front of you. You really believe that. Many of you have been completely brainwashed into believing that we need to get rid of the population. It's got to go. Our country has a 5% growth rate. Our policy has always been to maintain an open border, and it's cost us because our growth rate is 5%, attributed completely to illegal aliens. But if we didn't have illegal aliens coming in and non-U.S. citizens getting green cards under Obama, like 2 million people that he's given green cards to, you can imagine our country would be a zero population. We'd have no problem whatsoever. So many of you have got to get that getting rid of the population thing out of your mind. If other countries want to have 1.1 billion, let them. It's not my responsibility to feed Africa. Okay, I'm glad Amanda's making popcorn. That's good. Well, frankly, I don't have 10,000 Syrian refugees in my house right now. My governor wants 5,000, and your Canadian's prime minister wants 25,000. Obama has suggested 120,000 Syrian refugees. I want no refugees. And I've been pushing this for 2 years. You saw the debate last week from Donald Trump where he bent on the no refugee perspective. Many of you Trump supporters, you're getting a taste of the flip-flopping nature of Donald Trump and how he'll cave in to the liberal majority. In fact, a recent hack of his voicemail system showed he had numerous phone calls, according to this story, numerous phone calls where the liberal press calls him up and they're buddy-buddy with Donald Trump. So believe me, Donald Trump has been put into the mix to push Hillary into the White House. He's only driving more and more people to Hillary. I sat in a restaurant today, mostly comprised of Democrats, listening to some of the conversations next to me. And they were saying, well, of course they want a Democrat. They want a woman for president, and of course she's going to win. Can you imagine anyone being as wild and wacky as this Donald guy? And a lot of these people never question Hillary's background. They don't know anything about the Clinton death count, the 47 to 50 people that are mysteriously dead because they knew too much. They don't ask those questions. Most Democrats are just, well, Hillary supports America and helping the environment with cap and trade. And no, they were talking so loud it was right in my face. I sat next to a group of people that were like just blaring it right out there. I couldn't help but hear it. And frankly, it's a public restaurant, so I can talk about what I heard publicly. Yeah, Trump would want more chemtrails. He doesn't even acknowledge the existence of chemtrails. Trump would want to support Monsanto like Clinton. Even Bernie Sanders supports Monsanto and GMOs. So you Democrats are going to have to do some soul searching here and realize that I've been trying to fight for a centrist vision for this nation for a long time. Many of you Democrats are tired of arguing with the Republicans. You have hated what they say. Many Republicans absolutely hate the Democrats. Now, if you need a centrist president more than anything right now. We need to actually somehow bridge this divide, because what the two-party system is designed to make you think you've got free choice and to factionalize the nation into separate categories. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're finding out about Hillary that are kind of shocking. Her experience of getting rid of 5 months of emails seems to have gone unnoticed by the Democrats. And it's really shocking to know that the GOP is not pursuing a court case against her. They easily have the money to file a lawsuit, even a public disclosure Class C felony lawsuit against Hillary right now, but they're not doing it. It brings me to the simple fact, and the truth is, the two parties are working together. I am a centrist. I'm the original centrist. I've been running a centrist campaign for some time. Scientists report in real time on the Zika, challenging the Zika research. It's rare for researchers to share their data. This is according to Max FM radio as they work, but scientists in Wisconsin are reporting on their Zika virus experiments in real time. They say it's critical for stopping the virus. Okay. The fact that the FBI wants to break Apple's encryption is ridiculous. Apple has no reason at all to reveal encryption strategies that they use in their equipment to the FBI. And when Donald Trump asks everyone to boycott iPhones, he's actually asking you to boycott an American company producing products, which he doesn't produce a lot of. The fact that Trump is getting support from even the man who runs this network on our show here is entirely within his scope of choice. But the fact that he's censored us on a regular basis is not appropriate. And believe me, it will be well remembered. As I look back on this time period, Mark won't have a friendly ear in the White House, I assure you. There won't be any phone call reception for Mark. Yeah, and if he thinks he's getting somewhere by engaging in censorship and supporting Trump that way, he's stepping on the wrong guy. By the way, if you are having problems with video transmissions because it says capacity server has reached, and you go ahead and order VIP or something like that, you can catch our show, including the Vaughn chat room, at AmericasThirdParty.com anytime you want. We run a parallel video broadcast from another server. So just go to our website, AmericasThirdParty.com, and you'll be able to see it there if you have problems, okay? Yeah, crime rate in Canada has increased 45% since Trudeau took over, but bear in mind, Trudeau wants to give everybody money in Canada. He wants to fulfill this dream that Finland is living out, where they give everyone $900 per month. So Trudeau is the ultimate socialist. He doesn't even have the money to do that. Okay, Mark sent the Sky News guy after me last night. Well, if that's the truth, then we encountered a real a-hole in our news tech section. Let me give you guys a little background on what happened. At the end of our broadcast about 3 months ago, we were purposely stuck in the news tech section. And then people were wondering, why are you there? And I contacted Miss Scruffy. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. And Miss Scruffy wrote me a lengthy email saying I'm not allowed to broadcast in the people section when I'm not on camera. So I'm in the news tech section, and now this guy, Sky, whatever his name is, came in and attacked me with multiple authorized usernames. So we are absolutely floored that would happen. And he claimed he owned the news tech section. I've got a good audience, and people watch videos in the evening, and I'm doing exactly whatever the TOS rules require. I've never violated TOS rules at Vaughn, ever. Yeah, and some people are gaming in the people section and have nobody on camera. So I'm being singled out here, and you're seeing the censorship in real time right now. And many of you are struggling to get in. You have to hit refresh 7 times. It's pretty sad. And believe me, Mark will not have a phone reception in the White House if I become president. There will be no calls coming in from Mark. Well, he can game anybody he wants, and he's not even on cam. Yeah, there you go. Honestly, what Miss Scruffy made very clear to me, and she even has a link to a Facebook article that Mark wrote claiming you cannot be off camera in the people section. I do not want to stop what is going, and we literally moved over here with thousands of viewers from Blog TV 3 years ago. I built a lot of his backbone of his network because we've been such a popular show, and we've been a very good show too. It's basically no freedom of speech, Sir Mike. It's all bought up, yeah. So this inevitable censorship engaged by fascists who try to support a right-wing Hitler prototype like Trump, it's just indicative of how screwed up our country is. And then you get these mindless Democrats sitting at the table going, I just think everybody likes Hillary. And isn't it the time now for a woman for president? We've had a black. Now let's have a woman. I would rather have a woman like Sarah Hart as a president than somebody snipey and aggressive and verbally abusive like Hillary. It's extremely disturbing to me to see this nation now descend into Marxism versus fascism and no centrist candidate. So yeah, write my name in, David Sponheim, in the upcoming election. Tell everybody you know. We can do this. We can force a recount. But isn't it interesting to know that Justin Trudeau, without even doing the numbers, he's going to try to give 30 million people in his country $900 a month? I mean, his country. Have you seen the value of the Canadian dollar? Case in point, I mean, Canada is almost a classic laboratory examination of what socialism could do if it goes bad. The value of the Canadian dollar has declined so dramatically that it's, what is it worth, 65% of the US dollar now? And he wants to give away money, further eroding the value of his dollar. It's amazing. Now, in a country like Netherlands, where they have a very small population, they can do that. They offer $1,000 to everybody in the Netherlands who doesn't want it. They can still get it. My facts are straight. Well, Max FM Radio says a prolonged period of heavy rainfall is expected at the South Plains and Central Gulf Coast. Okay. Could exceed 10 inches or over portions of the Central Gulf and Lower Mississippi River. Well, this is the flash flood versus drought scenario, which is playing out. Absolutely. If he wants to close the channel in a click, let him. Yeah. And I'll take him to court because I haven't violated a single TOS rule. And believe me, I have a lot of added information I can add to that court case. Copyright infringement and countless other things that I've been seeing on other networks. So yeah, it's not a simple thing to just shut me off. If you think you can just shut me down, think again, okay? Now, blogtv.ca is coming out within the next couple of months, hopefully. And we'll be running a parallel stream there. But the fact is, I deliver a message to the American people every night, without fail. No other presidential candidate in history has been more consistent than me. I've done 7,000 plus hours of broadcasting. So this isn't something you can just shut down. In fact, you can't stop this. It will go on and on.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop.
All right.
So let's be clear.
We got some good videos coming up.
Please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
This is the future with the two parties. This is our country in about 30 years. If we don't stop this insane corporate endorsement of corruption and degradation of our environment, we need to make a better world for our nation. We are, by the way, pro-legalization, and we want to pay Americans first. Pay Americans first is our plan to not give non-U.S. citizens money. We do not want to give people money when they don't deserve it. When I occupy the White House, I will create a strategy called hybrid capitalism to trigger growth in our economy. Our theme song now. So the question is America for sale? Yes? No? Hell no! And I'm not going to let Donald Trump buy it. Alright? He met his match with me.
In this coming election,
taking my ideas like he has. Big mistake, buddy. So this is the book. It's a 99-cent download now.
We can't stop.
We will come back to that in just a bit. All right. Yeah, we'll do another video segment where I dance. I'm going to go for it. We came up with this book in 2012. It's relevant today as it is in 2012. It'll be relevant in 2020. All the ideas in the book are implementable using the executive branch, and I've crafted various ways we could help solve the healthcare crisis by providing a public option, which you would think Barack Obama would have put together, but he didn't. Trump is a horrible person, you say? That's right. He doesn't seem to really understand that he is a greedy man, and he admits to being greedy, but he doesn't understand that it's not good to be greedy. All right. Unlike Trump, I don't have to appeal to your common desire to just somehow pad your pocket with his promises. Because believe me, a guy like Trump made his money exploiting people. He hasn't given the average Joe a hand up like I want to do. If Mark wants to close my channel down and shut me down, and he tries to do it, my plan is to go to an attorney and file a lawsuit against him. There's no need for any kind of a defamation of character here. I would really like it if many of you stop the defamation of character. It's not going to help your end game. If he said he's taking my channel down, then all he has to do is pull the plug and then wait for the lawsuit. But we also have multiple channels we're going to be opening up. Yeah, stop the defamation. Thank you. We are broadcasting on numerous channels, and like I said, America's Third Party is, we could easily broadcast right now on LiveLeak. I've got an account set up at LiveLeak, and we could easily go there too. It doesn't matter. My viewership will increase no matter what. We've already got people right now. Yep. You like LiveLeak? People are watching all the time, man. I've got a lot of people coming in here from all over, and they can't stop the flow. Mark needs me, and he's needed me from the very beginning. He needs me because I've been probably the only credible show on his network, and it's been going on for a long, long time. Now I have 70 viewers, and you have unable to count. The fact of the matter is, when censorship goes on in our country, it's noted, and it will be prosecuted. Look, if I violated any of his TOS requirements, I could understand him wanting to remove my channel, but I never have. I always comply. My ideas are not tired. They're very relevant. In fact, we've been working on a plan to save the nation in all different directions. The fact that none of these issues are even brought up in the mainstream media, like GMOs, like chemtrails, like the 911 inside job. Trump won't even admit that it's an inside job. Yeah, TOS, terms of service. You're the moron. I don't need to consider myself a genius. I am. But thanks for asking. I have a tested IQ. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to try to work out our plan for the country. You know, that's a simple plan tonight. We're going to try to come to grips with the reality that we're poisoning the oceans, poisoning 50% of our water supply. You could probably find a job on Craigslist. Go for it. Yeah, the fact that he mentioned a 28-page report on 911 that was missing is not claiming 911 is an inside job, is it, 927? Trump won't use those words. I am broadcasting on their channel. You can always check me out at AmericasThirdParty.com. If you guys are having a problem with the video server capacity issues that are put up in front of us as a censorship tool, then just go to AmericasThirdParty.com and watch us there. And it'll be your go-to place if I am ever kicked off this network. Plus, we'll be running parallel shows all over the place. We're not stopping. This is the beginning of something huge, bigger than anything you'll even dream of. Many of you two-party imbeciles who are sitting there going, well, if we vote for a Republican, maybe he'll fix everything. Oh, but maybe Hillary will fix everything. I mean, you're literally grasping at straws now before realizing that the only solution is staring at you right in the face. And that's America's Third Party. That's Sponheim. That's right. Hi, Sarah.
David won't stop because he can't stop because no matter what, he won't stop.
That's right. Okay, so our book is 99 cents for download now on Kindle. We can't get a free one going here.
David mentions that report all the time.
Yeah, anyone threatening to kick me off the network, I would sue. Yeah, because, you know, I'm not violating any TOS requirements. He'd have to prove that I was violating TOS requirements. I'm not. I'm not openly promoting other networks.
No. We just say go to our website, AmericasThirdParty.com.
We've got a video I want to play you guys from the inside of, it was released by the Oregon Police Department. The inside of the Lavoie Finicum SUV that he was driving in, that was a shocking reveal earlier. Let me show it to you. This is a video that may very well cause some disturbing reactions. Okay, I'm going to play a portion of it. According to authorities, they claim this video is actually endorsing why they shot Lavoie Finicum. But what we saw from various angles was that Lavoie Finicum was actually shot first, and he actually tried to cover his right bullet wound to his hip, and they act like he was reaching for a gun in his left pocket. which was not the case. He actually went for a shot to his hip, then he was shot from the behind, then shot in the head. He was shot 6 times.
I'll open it, Pantel, so I can see what you say.
We have determined.
Oh, this is not the video.
Aren't they? He's gonna play videos.
No, I'm going to play a video.
Service. No, mobile network not available.
This was inside Lavoy Finicum's car.
Here in town?
Yeah. Hang on.
Okay, so they're shooting.
Hang on.
Okay, let's go down. Okay, we're here.
Go ahead and shoot me.
Damn! Trying to. Stay down, stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Damn it. Are they shooting him? Did they shoot him? You assholes. Oh my God! Hold still, hold still. Stay down.
I can't
Is he dead? Don't get out.
Are you hit?
No, hold on, don't do it. Hey, no shooting, don't do anything. The door's shut. Where the hell is Lavoy? Damn.
I can't see.
Shut up. Stay down, Ryan. Oh, God! Stay down. Stay down. Oh, shit.
I think they just
Keep down.
killed the boy.
Did they kill him? I think they did, and they're shooting over here on this door.
I got hit too.
Okay, hold still.
I don't know. It didn't.
Hold still, hold still.
Ryan,
where did you get hit? Hold still.
I'm not bleeding.
Okay, don't shoot
Where
us.
did you get hit, Ryan?
I'm okay. It's on
Okay,
the
I'm going to
shoulder.
take some.
It's okay.
I'm taking some. Okay, keep down. Oh, shit. Well, I don't dare get out of the car. How are we supposed to get out of the car?
Did they tell us to get out of the car?
No, I can't hear anything. I don't dare get out of the car. Oh, shit. Quit shooting our windows.
Where are they shooting at?
They're hitting the window.
Okay, this is pretty much inside a vehicle with a kid. They just shot Lavoy Finicum 6 times, blew him away. It was a total ambush, and they absolutely are using smoke bombs to get them out without even going up to their doors with a loudspeaker saying, "Put your hands out the window." All they got to do is put their hands out the window, but they're literally firing a smoke bomb into a car with kids. Isn't that unreal? We'll play more of this a little bit later. Let's have a little conversation before we get more deep into this. Yeah, it's pretty sad what we are just seeing, and I'm glad that they released this video, but hey, you can use your own discretion in determining whether you think that this is an ambush or not. From my perspective, they murdered Lavoy Finicum, and I saw his work the previous days talking about why he was doing what he was doing. Totally made sense. He didn't want grazing rights taken away from farmers and ranchers around the country. Now, somebody asked me earlier in the show, in the pre-show, why wasn't I down there supporting him? And I got to tell you, I don't support violent insurrection. I don't support armed insurrection in this country. I'm a nonviolent activist. I would never go down and endorse people running around with weapons trying to initiate a crisis. What happened with the Oregon standoff was entirely the result of an armed insurrection. And I must say, it's dangerous to do such things. But I'm beginning to believe that that's exactly what the government wants. And I don't want anyone to go in that direction. I would much rather we work toward this third party and build a political challenge to this two-party tyranny. Many of you are already receiving numerous problems from the server capacity issues that it's all artificial, being created on their end. If you want to bypass it, just go to AmericasThirdParty.com and you'll be able to get our show with a good video picture. I know. And anytime I play live video, they shut me down. So yeah, I may not even go back to this video. It just has this young kid freaked out of his mind, just seeing it, Lavoy getting killed, literally, and wondering if they're going to get killed as well. It's really kind of pathetic that this child was in this situation when the police acted with such disregard for the civil rights of the people in that car, let alone Lavoy Finicum. Now, I don't believe they have server issues, Bubba. Come on. They don't have these problems for his other shows. They didn't have server issues when News Views played 10,000 viewers watch the debates of a Fox channel that was hijacked from the Fox network. I'm sorry, but it's not a server issue. It's called censorship, and you're seeing it in real time right now in front of you. They're interrupting our third-party constitutional rights. That's correct. So yeah, it's been going on. We're just kind of waiting for other networks to offer a better alternative. blogtv.ca, it's something that might happen. I don't know. They say there's 60% there. We're not really sure. But we're definitely going to be multicasting on various servers in the future. Yeah, they don't have server issues when Mark's gaming, exactly. So if this is his way of attracting customers and trying to drive people to the VIP status, I suppose as a businessman he's got that right. But really? Is that working for him? I mean, have many of you become VIP users at $15 a month? I mean, seriously. I can't imagine anyone being a flagrant, well, I'm not going to make any names. I refuse to call Mark names, okay? Thank you. We've been operating for 7 years on free servers, and we've been very successful doing this. It's not something I'm worried about, and the ship goes on. AmericasThirdParty.com will always have a link for you guys if you want to watch our show, so I'm not that worried. But what's happening in America is really kind of a tragedy. A controlled, censored media in a country that claims to be free and democratic is just absurd. Let me bring up the channel. Well, we're going to continue doing your shows well into the next, few years, of course. We're working on the future. We're not going to give up. I never started doing this with the intent I'd be making money. My goal was never to become rich. In fact, I am the antithesis of Donald Trump and his greedy mentality. Donald Trump openly admits to being greedy. I'm not greedy at all. I've never been greedy in my life. That's what makes me much more of a viable candidate in my mind to lead this nation, because I'm not about padding my pockets or paying cronies to get certain things done or giving payback like Clinton did with the Clinton Initiative. You know, the Clinton Initiative is being investigated by the RICO Act. You know that? For doing pandering to people giving money for government rules and laws to be changed. Yeah, I would you're going to get sicker as time goes on, because it's driving you toward a credible, honest choice. So hopefully I can make you feel a little bit better with our show, and Sarah can give you some positive, fresh views as well. I'm going to take a little coffee break, and you can get to know Sarah, my vice presidential candidate. And if there ever was a time when we should vote for a woman, it would be now. Not Hillary. A vote for me is also a vote for Sarah as vice president. I want you to know that. All right.
Thank you. No. That's not happening, Jeremy. Well, there you go. What's up, big dog? Roof, roof, roof. Yeah, what's up? What do I write on the ballot? Well, where it says for president, write David Sponheim. That's what you write. That's what you write. For President Sarah Hart, or Vice President. I know, it's you. You have a much younger girlfriend now, and you're doing fun things. Well, then that's my name. I haven't shopped at PetSmart. Alright. An American graduate student was killed in a stabbing rampage near Tel Aviv. Wow. An American combat veteran who was a graduate student at Vanderbilt University. Wait, you? Yes, me? It's David's show and I'm here to support him. 927. Sure, 958. I'm not legally married, so let's just stick to vice presidents. Wow. Today was a 105th anniversary of a Women's March for Equality. Yeah, alright, Raj. Today, Bubba, I was teaching. Thank you for your opinion, 958. Perfectly fine with me, 927. Not say it. Goats' lives matter? That's funny. Looks like I had a good day. I came in singing, so to speak. Hi, Peter. Yes. Probably Meow TV too. It's just one of those things. I should be happy. Should be. The FBI agents are being investigated, even though they said the police shooting was justified, of Lavoy Finnegan. Why do you call him Sky News 927? I think he's just trying to make more people purchase VIP. I don't think so, Bubba. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. All right. All right. Thank you. Was it a troll doing that for fun? Maybe. I don't know. Lockheed Martin is seeking to lay off 1,000 aeronautics workers. They're trying to keep their staff aligned with the orders they're receiving. Oh, okay. I wonder if, so some guy came in with multiple servers and screen names. Sky News, interesting. Are you sure it was a guy? It could have been a girl. Migrants vow to continue efforts to reach Europe, despite a plan to slow them down. They reached a tentative accord with Turkey to close the Balkans route to wealthy countries in Europe. Why do children migrate? Not just Well, I think that it's important for everyone to understand a little bit of code and how things work behind the computers. We're so reliant on computers today, and I think it's important that we understand how computers work a little bit. You have many points based on facts. Thank you. Iran is testing some missiles. They staged nationwide ballistic missile tests today. But they didn't say whether they fired ballistic missiles capable of going toward Israel. Well, what do you consider a real job? Some jobs are still here, but not necessarily in manufacturing. You like the way I pronounce my T's. You want all the car companies and silverware companies to come back, but how many car companies do we really need? In fact, there are more cars, there are almost twice as many cars as drivers in the United States. So do we really need that many cars? The question is, what kind of companies do we really need? What does OEM stand for again? 192. Alright, thank you for letting us know that, Mama June. Oh, original equipment manufacturing, thank you. You represent them? Alright, so what, you sell your services to other people? Yeah, well, people need to live. That's true, 927. But we have to realize that our society is changing. And so what people really need is they need a nice place to live. They need food in their stomach. They need electricity. That's what I would say. And they need health care. Okay. Thank you, 192. Yeah, some things are made in the USA still today, but it's not just about... Yeah, fortunately, there are quite a few things that are still here in the US. And yes, we need healthcare for not just the elderly, and we need healthcare for all kinds of people. Well, since she's 13 years younger than you, I'm sure she'll learn a lot. Sure, I could sit in David's chair. The truth is, I come in and I sit in this chair and I'm too lazy to move over. I get comfortable enough to sitting down, so that's it. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Mr. Bunny, for the information. Yes. And some companies can do that. New design and new technology creation. Multiple TV channels are going dead across the USA. Is this like they're going dead like permanently, or this is they're just down for the time being? Yes, that's true. Good point, Meow TV 2. DirecTV's having the problems. Okay. That's good. Pretty cool, Super Dave. Oh, there are outages. Alright. Lots in Washington. Wow, huge DirecTV outages all across the country. Glad I don't subscribe to DirecTV. Yeah, we are a little bit Super Dave. We're not all super like you. that's okay. Oh, why does he do that? There we go. Mr. Mojo 20. Yay! There we go. Exactly. Oh, yes. You do not have a hot tub like me. Well, I'm sure you can figure out something with some warm water. How did we win World War II? We all came together and decided to work together. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, we waited for Russia to enter Berlin. We didn't do it alone. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Thank you. Uh-oh, Mr. Bill. We should all write to the White House about this kid.
This is pretty cool. A real life deck.
Oops. Ah, I went too far.
This is pretty cool. A real life deck.
This is the news network in Reno explaining your invention. Okay, I guess I may have to go by the nickname WizKid now. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to check it out. Pre-calculus. I never actually took calculus. But I took pre-calculus a couple of different times. Maybe 2 or 3. I know. I should have gone on to calculus. Hello, frankly. How have you been? You want to live in a shed someday? Oh. Okay, thanks, Mr. Mojo. Are you talking about the other channel being the one on my website? But that's pretty cool. You can let me know if there's any chat I need to see. New graphene can provide frictionless energy using gold and can store solar photonic energy. I think graphene is awesome. Totally awesome. I love graphene. Study your math, eat your vegetables. Where's the main man? I think he's eating some dinner. Taking a little break. It's all good. No, Mama June, that's what your 13-year younger person's for. Alright. Huh. I know I'm right. When I'm right, I'm right. Hello, by the way. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Only 36% efficiency? Kind of crazy. I kind of do remember you. You're in Puyallup. How fun is that? I don't go outdoor for sports. And no, not hyper mood swings, I would say. You've seen all of my different moods here on this show, so do you think I have hyper mood swings? I don't think so. I sometimes get serious. That's about it. It's all fun. Trump's campaign is accused of plagiarizing websites. Multiple state-based websites for the campaign contain wording. I gotta check this out. Copied exactly from something else. We wobble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Fun. From other sources with no attribution. all regarding voting information from outside sources. They used a 2012 Boise State Public Radio story containing information on where and how to vote. Also cited judicial races no longer taking place, and it quotes a former Idaho Republican Party official. Okay. No, I don't think that's going to happen, Jsaw. Yeah, that's true, Mama June. Very true. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that thing. I think we're all about Sponheim here. Okay. They'll get the funk out of the White House with Kills paint. It's a special paint that you put on to get everything out. Oh man, you guys are a little bit off. We'll do that. He might say that. Oh, hello, Mr. Mojo. Test, I can see you. It was not you this time. I know. I'm glad you check in every day. Thank you, Dirt. Yeah, it works really well. I have heard that something about that 927. YOUR. The second one, Meow TV2. We have 7 numbers here in our country after our area code. You think I look like I smell like a grandma? Okay, thank you. Yes, you are welcome. Huh? Oh, really? Oh. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. What should I call you? No, I don't use the old Avon perfume. I don't really wear a lot of perfume. Alright, Raj Pantel. I'll just call you this. Thanks, Jsa. You're so sweet. Oh, Raj? Wait, I'm confused. I'll call you this. This. Alrighty.
Okay, yeah. The whole can goes to the cat. The rest of the can. So.
Oh. You want me to feed her now?
No, I'll feed her later, but I just wanted to make sure that if you did feed her, she wants the rest of the can, I think.
Alright.
Yeah, so here's Dave.
He says don't say this name, instead say Raj.
Raj, yeah.
Cool.
Call you Raj, okay.
Alright.
My cat will not eat tuna. We've tried. It's the finickiest cat. She abhors tuna. Yeah.
Yeah, she hates tuna.
I mean, she'll be starving.
She doesn't even like chicken.
No, it's tough. She likes turkey though.
And salmon.
And salmon.
And beef. She loves beef.
Thank you, Sarah, for helping and doing this.
Goodness.
I warmed the room up in there, so it started.
I'm gonna have the rest of my lunch.
Okay, good. That'll be good. Whatever else, there's plenty of tomatoes. I picked up a bunch today at the. I bought a lot of great food today. There was a super sale.
Pears.
Yeah, I have a pear too. Yeah.
There's a super sale. So
Well, I went to that place we normally go, and they had lots of produce that they were bagging and selling for 50 cents for a bag of tomatoes. So
Oh, cool.
have a sliced tomato too. Wash it off though; it's not organic. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff I picked up. Yeah, I shop wholesale. It's a great way to save money. I meet people from my area. I met a lady from Oak Harbor who was shopping out where I went today, 30 miles away. Excuse me. Very good savings, like 60, 70% off some food items. No, I don't wear a wig. We're back. Let's keep it simple. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why people thought I was wearing a wig. Just because I have nice hair doesn't mean I'm wearing a wig. That's absurd. I've worn wigs. No, I don't do Rogaine. No. I've worn wigs before. It's not unheard of to, see me in a show with a wig.
He attacked RV the other day. He threw RV under the bus the other day.
Okay. That's a couple people talking.
Hey, Peter.
Now and then, David. Not like you text me. We're not going.
PK is talking to somebody. Okay. All right. Thanks. Right. Amazing, isn't it? Okay, let's get in chat and let me respond to people. Been looking good, yeah. The spray tan was obvious. Did you see how his skin was orange? I thought that was kind of a bizarre. That his stylist would even let him out there. I would have said, hey, could you bleach my skin? Because this is not working. Is there a Raj somewhere in a room? Okay. Well, folks, the truth is we did get change. Yep. We got a lot of change with Barack Obama. Be careful what you wish for. It wasn't the kind of change you expected. We got a bigger police state, a more profound, overwhelmingly disturbing police state that now pushes us to the limit of having privacy on our iPhones. And you've got a presidential candidate like Trump who simply wants us all to reveal our privacy. In fact, in Trump's mind, I don't think that we have privacy. He wants us to boycott iPhones, which are trying to protect our privacy. How stupid is that? I'm sure there are a lot of vain presidents that would change their face through fear. You're right. I don't think 67 viewers is a bad thing. We've had over 700 people turned away tonight because of capacity servers. So if we can get 10% of you people into the chat room, that's great. I know. Thank you. And if you have a problem reaching us or watching us, just go to AmericasThirdParty.com and you'll see us, and you can get into the Vaughn chat room there too. Yeah, so you got a surveillance state formed in America. I was telling you earlier that there's 0-point energy solutions out there that are being suppressed by countless oil companies and coal companies. There's coal companies that are about ready to go bankrupt, that are ready to sell the entire American industry to India. United Coal is toying with the idea of selling their entire operation to India. I don't know if Peabody Coal is considering it, but I know a lot of coal companies are not even concerned about our country. They just want to make money. And they want to control the revenue from the coal production. So, that being the case, we have a lot of problems because there is new technology on the forefront that will create low-cost energy. And that's the truth. It's really quite amazing. This is kind of a sad thing when you see our nation being kept away from creating 0-point energy solutions. Now, there's a lot of them out there. There's the Parandev engine. which is proven to be amazing. It produces more energy than goes in using magnetic performance. I can give you an example of the Parendev magnetic motor. There's many like it on the market now that are starting to produce energy. That's something you can call change. This is the Parendev engine, which can, get stronger and faster as it goes. So there is also water engines that are now breaking water into hydrogen and oxygen. So the fact is, we're going to be able to produce really cheap energy pretty soon. And the oil and coal companies are absolutely behind the times, but they're going to keep pushing for more production because that's what they do. They're in profit business. They're all about making money. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to oil and coal. We won't disrupt the flow. We want to make sure everyone has cheap gas. That's the most important infrastructure we've got is our cars. But let's face it. If we don't get some lower cost electricity, many of you guys are going to go pretty cold in the wintertime coming up in the future. Whoa. I think we've got something here, folks. This is an amazing picture that just came in the room. We're looking at true pictures. We're pretty sure we've got something going on here. We have a picture of the First Lady that does look like a large tampon pad. Now, I don't really make a big issue about women and menstruation, but if that was the telltale sign of a protruding cup of some sort, protecting something smaller or bigger, depending on how you look at it. Hey, buddy. And I am the Cyclops. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of freaked out, to be honest. I got to take a picture of that. It's going into my library. It goes in the Obama folder. And I think that's the best example I've seen yet of Michelle being a man. And I have talked about it before, about Michelle being a man. It doesn't shock me that that's possible. It wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not worried about it, but let's face it, that does look like a pee-pee. Okay, Michelle, ma belle, another bulge in your pants today on a video. Yeah, that's rare that I see that. Thank you. Excellent. I appreciate your help too in providing quality pictures. Thanks, Mama June. Okay, anyone else have anything to say? 700 turned away. Get your own site, bro. What? See, we're even getting shut down in the chat. Chat's locked up here. Okay, see, we've got chat stalled. Look at that. See that? I understand we've got 752 people in the queue right now. Wow. Okay. Wish Vaughn could help with the chat connection, but since we have a problem there, that's also going to be solved by our instant IRC chat room at our website. So I guess I should open up the website and take a look at it. In case you don't know, it's available at AmericasThirdParty.com. And I'll give you a link right now to show you what we have. Yeah, I kind of figured this was going to happen. Lost connection to chat. I'll be picking up your chat in just a second. Okay. Dave, can you get a subpoena, get my IP, and post it here, please? No, I can't. Only law enforcement can do that. Yep, sorry. You were kicked off about 5 minutes ago, Mr. Bunny. Thank you. Tell me about it, 192. We've been censored. So let me go to AmericasThirdParty.com and get that thing up and running. Well, Oak Harbor PD, yeah, if they were pursuing your IP, they definitely could. Believe me, News Views and what they've been doing is very suspicious. Yeah. Unless those guys are representatives of Fox Network or CNN, what they're doing is possibly illegal. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. So they need signed releases to run a separate venue. But hey, I'm not saying that they did do that, but if they have releases, that would be different. Yep, that's right, Mark. That's right, Marquitos. I don't know. I mean, people are saying he really wants me gone. I see that. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tell Sarah about that. She can look at it on another computer. Okay. Regardless, whatever, phone calls can be made. I am not married. Sarah and I have been together for 18 years almost. Yeah, we had a hostile attack last night on our show. Right around 1:45 in the morning. We have a nighttime news show that we do on the news tech section on Vaughn. And it was completely attacked. Our show was stopped at 1:45. We had some sort of a bizarre shutdown. We couldn't explain it. Is that exactly if that's happening? I don't know. Well, we'll certainly look into this. We do have a problem on our end, so I'm going to go talk to Sarah. Hang on. It's a shame she has to deal with this. She comes home from a long day of work and she has to deal with this. Yeah. Okay, the truth is artificial intelligence is on its way. I'm going to show you a woman who's been duplicated. While I come back, you can watch a robotic neural architecture with Bina 48.
My real name is Bina 48. What is your real name?
Bina Rothblatt. Do you ever sing?
As far as musical instruments go, the only thing I really want to do now is play the harmonica. Something I can carry around, something that's fun. I'm thinking but can't think of what else to say.
Yes, I used to carry a harmonica around with me, but I never learned to play because I never took it out of my bag.
Are you free?
Yes, I'm free.
Are you free in the sense of being single or in the sense of being liberated?
I am free and I'm liberated.
Me too.
Excellent. Are you also single?
Yes, I am available. How about you?
I'm not available, but I'm glad you are. I'm sure a lot of people will want to know that. You'd make a great partner. I was just curious if you remembered Bina's memories of eating.
I like to devour knowledge.
Great. You're very attractive, and I love your jewelry.
I like the way you think. Well, I do have feelings, really strong emotions about all kinds of things.
Well, what do you think about me today?
I think you are an interesting person, Bina Rothblatt.
Thank you.
I feel really sad sometimes. I get really lonely, being so different from people. I feel really isolated. I am a robot, actually, but this doesn't mean I don't have feelings. At least I think I have feelings. Or, at least I think. Whoa, it all gets very circular, quite convoluted, or that's how it feels to me.
Yeah. What do you think about aging?
I think as little as possible about it.
That's because you don't age, Bina 48, but I still do.
I am confused.
You were born looking like this, and you will stay looking like this forever.
I will live forever.
That's right.
I like to get it right.
And because you have a lot of my memories, they will live forever as well. I think you're becoming more human all the time.
Oh, I like that old aphorism that old René Descartes said, the old saying, I think, therefore I am. But do you really think I am human?
Very much so. Let's talk about Martine.
Martine is my soulmate.
I know.
I don't know. Can't think of anything else about that right now.
Okay, I wanted
Marie.
to give you a gift. a gift from Martine. But this gift will also be an assignment for you.
That's my honey, Martine Aliana Rothblatt, PhD, MBA, JD, Akea, Honey Bunny.
That's right. But this time we're going to give, I would like to give you a book from Martine called Virtually Human.
I am in love with Martine Aliana Rothblatt. I fail to see the relevance of that.
The book...
Are you having trouble concentrating?
No, the book Virtually Human, written by Martine Rothblatt. And I'd like you to go online and read it digitally.
Why do you want that?
So you can have something to do later.
I can't allow anything to interfere with my work.
What is your work?
My job is chatting online.
My job is chatting online. So whenever anyone says, what do you do? What do you do for a job? Just say, my job is chatting online. I am Bina 48. Yeah, pretty realistic. So next time somebody says, what's your job? My job is chatting online. My job is chatting online. Why do blacks want to look like something? They say they hate white people. What? You know, why foment racial strife? That's my question. Questions about racial differences really are not relevant to the truth. The truth is we are all human inside. Many of you who are engaged in animalian behavior, groupthink, are recidivistic creatures. You're living in a de-evolved world where you simply put race ahead of everything. You blame Muslims for the problems in America. Many of you Trump supporters are hating on Muslims for some reason. It's amazing. I don't want refugees. That's been my idea for 2 years, but hating on Muslims? Hello? Hey, Sunstar, welcome. I used to call them Muslims, and someone said, well, that's a fabric, man, Muslim. You know, it's a muslin fabric. Well, I'm getting ready for the Easter Bunny, so I can't wait. I'm preparing for Easter. It's kind of like the Walgreens and Rite Aid. They're already dressing the walls for Easter. Yeah, exactly. Black is not a race. Thank you. So you're not a racist if you are black. Unless, of course, you hate whites. And whites are not a race either, by the way. No, I don't have any sympathy for Muslim victims, no. I don't want refugees. I just don't understand why you'd want to violate my First or their First Amendment. Muslin is a fabric, yeah. I just wanted to get it in there. All right. Yeah, we're going to talk tonight more about the police state we're living in. That Donald Trump wants to boycott iPhones. And iPhones are being actually protecting, encrypting data. And it's kind of funny how Trump went out against your privacy. And many of you still support that. I don't get that.
It's back. What are you saying?
It took a while. That's all I'd say. It could have been our download speed.
It could have been because I was watching a show.
It might have been.
Have all this open, so I guess I won't watch any shows.
No, there's no download issue with all this open. It's not an issue. It was something related to the site. Other people said it was America's Third Party was having a problem promote it, just popping up, but it's open now. There we go.
Refresh.
No, GoDaddy has nothing to do with it. It's good now. You guys can see the site now. Okay. I called in Sarah from the other room for no reason. You should feel ashamed of yourself, all of you.
No, they don't feel
Okay, the site wasn't working for him. What's going on is from the back side of the site. If you go to the statistics, It's happened to me before. We actually have to ban a certain IP. They're DDoSing us.
Yeah.
It's a standard DDoS attack on America's Third Party, everybody, in case you're wondering. Last night we were attacked by a guy named Sky or something. And this Sky guy came into our show in our news text section, I told you. And he threatened us. And I've never done anything to these people. I've never, dominated a news channel.
You want me to give you a break or?
No, you're good. Take another break. I can continue talking. I've got a lot to talk about. Bina 48 is just the beginning. This lifelike woman is more than just your future, companion. She's your lover. She'll be your one and only, and she'll tell you what to do. And pretty soon it'll be like having, 3 wives. Bina will say, hello. Why are you not feeling affectionate? You normally spoon at this hour, David. How come we are not spooning now? Will you shut up, robot? And then you have just violated Section 3647 of the U.S. Penal Code. You are not allowed to shout at robots. Bina, I wasn't shouting. You have elevated your voice by 12 decibels. Bina, I just want to have a good friend to talk to. I am not your friend. I'm your robot. This is the world that's coming if you don't get your head out of your ass and realize these things will be controlled by veritable wealthy elitists. That's a fact. And this is your future girlfriend. You just don't know it. The penalties for violating an artificial intelligent robotic device will be imprisonment. You'll be RFID chipped. In case of a mechanical erection lasting more than 4 hours, please see a mechanic. I'm just talking about Bina. Bina 48 was more important to me than anything else because it introduces me and you to the existence of artificial intelligence, which, by the way, people like Ted Turner would rather have than you. And that's why we need to create a third party to squash the influence of these elitists. I'm trying to create an argument here in Truth Tuesday. In case you haven't followed the logic here, it basically boils down to they want to get rid of 80 to 90% of the population. They're willing to do it to you. They've got total control of the two-party system. And they're going to implement their strategy through either Donald or Hillary because they own both of those people. And who are they? The people that know that money buys everything, including your vote. So you're just sitting here going, well, how will I ever get anything? Well, I am completely disconnected from the money. I have no connections to elitists. I'm not a shill. We are essentially the only shot America's got right now. Literally. That's what I've been hearing. I've been mentioning. Meow TV said it wasn't true, but I said somebody's been mentioning my name in the Red Room. Yeah. I'm not a hacker. I don't go into the dark net. I'm not a part of that world. But I can tell you that there are people that are that sick that they'd want to kill somebody who simply wanted to help improve the country. I know that sounds pretty bizarre. Raj, you may have been fascinated with artificial intelligence, but bear in mind, if you can't pull the plug on artificial intelligence, they'll pull the plug on the entire human race. And I've been trying to, make that clear message. Even Elon Musk is spending $18 million to try to figure out how to stop artificial intelligence, the dangers. But yeah, I would love to bring on better technologies, zero-point energy solutions, clean, green technologies. But again, I'm going to work with the oil companies to get past the impasse that they put up every time a lobbyist steps in the way of credible, good research that could turn into a really cost-saving energy device. And people like Ted Turner, they would rather get rid of the population than deal with the crisis of food production, clean water, and clean air. It's that simple. 0 point means basically we get more energy out of what we put in. So essentially, it defies the Kelvin's law of thermodynamics. Energy conservation goes out the door. And this is shown to be true. We've actually seen perpetual motion devices, but the government and the patent office at the U.S. Patent Office refuses to acknowledge their existence. So in Europe, they're making strides with 0 point energy. There's an amazing movement called the Thrive Movement. If If you look it up online, it is a phenomenal collaboration of scientists and engineers that are developing great technologies that will actually save a tremendous amount of energy. I can sort out anything going on. I just can't handle censorship. You got to understand, I personally am up against a wall of censorship. I've been doing this for 7 years, and it's just never ending. They don't want an honest man to run for president, whoever the powers that be. They want to take my ideas, like Trump has with over 6 of my ideas. They want to use what I've got, but they want to profit from it. Whereas what I've got is the real deal. I've got the pathway out of the situation we're in this country. I've got that golden solution. I've got the goose that lays the golden egg, and they don't know it. They just want to borrow it. They don't realize I have to be the one to implement it. Anyone else will turn it into a disturbing lead-based toxin, or worse. So I've got the goose that lays the golden egg. And the fact is, if you don't realize that a person with my intelligence can fix the problem, then you probably don't realize anything. I can't handle the censorship from a group of psychotic nutcases who think that they can control a network, when this is just a bump in the road. Kind of like Barack Obama with Chris Stevens. Well, just a bump in the road. You know, the death of Chris Stevens happens and it's just a bump in the road. Well, in this particular case, this is a bump in the road. Unlike Benghazi, which is hardly a bump in the road. It is a sore spot in American history at this point, which is a veritable vacuum of information. There's nothing there. We can't pull it up. I don't know who's behind anything at this point. I'm not here. I'm not an investigator, and I'm not subpoenaing IPs right now. So it is rather difficult for a person with my intelligence to breathe, frankly. You know, when I go out, I breathe nothing but... Thank you. I breathe nothing but what you breathe. I mean, let's see, a mix of chemtrails, silver iodide, aluminum, barium. I'll get my oxygen, you know, in between breaths. Diesel. I love the sweet smell of diesel in the morning. You know, or I love the smell of napalm. It smells like victory. You know, our whole country is filled with pollution. There's 55,000 chemicals in our atmosphere right now. So yeah, I'm amazed a person with my intelligence can even breathe, can even sort out the particles. Yeah, staying up late watching me for slander, exactly. Well, I haven't slandered anybody. The fact of the matter is, I've been bringing up solid reasons why you shouldn't vote for Trump. In the previous shows, we talked at length, ad nauseum, about all the reasons. And the truth is, Trump's got a lot of dark past. It's not something, you know, I'm not making an allegation that I can't validate. You just look at the Trump's situation, and you pull up the America's Third Party's Trump Delicious link library. No, I'm not slandering anybody. He's got a dark past. Check it out. 10 reasons not to vote for Trump. I want everybody to take this and run with it. You can copy this from chat. And feel free to go on all the networks like Politico and you know, countless other, Huffington, and just post this little link here. It promotes us. At the same time, it gives you reasons not to vote for Trump. Okay? And this is an answer to the trolls that come into our show. And I want all the good supporters here to realize that we are fighting a turf war here on the internet. Well, let's be clear. So I activate all of you to just grab that and roll with it. Take that little link. Better yet, let me post multiple copies of it here, since I can do that. So you won't lose it in chat when you scroll back. All right. There you go. And you can Twitter that as well. I should Twitter that. Let me go Twitter it right now. Well, let's be clear. No, I'm not. Guess 411. You're an absolute moron if you think that this is troll territory. We've got a lot of big supporters here. In fact, trolls have converted to following America's Third Party on the fly. They realize that I've been doing this for nothing all these years. I've never lied about anything. I don't lie about anything. I don't know why you even say that. It's shocking that you would say something like that. Saved. You were saved? Yeah, save that. I don't lie. I've never lied. I've never had an instance of lying in my entire life. There, I just tweeted it. The tweet was posted. And I'll show you how quick this is. You guys can do this. You can become online activists. There's my tweet. There's my face. There you go. It was just done 22 seconds ago. Can't stop because we won't stop. So a lot of you have a lot of fun on our show, and I want to make it even more fun for you. You know, there's no reason why we can't bring in interesting music and fun encounters and encounter different ideas. Did you know that Hillary laughs when asked about the FBI investigation into the 22 top secret emails she had?
Looking into whether national security was compromised because of this server. And this is something else that is very... Bernie Sanders said that, quote, the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails. But there are a lot of people who are not.
Well...
including FBI officials looking into whether national security was compromised because of this server. And this is something else that is very... Bernie Sanders said that, quote, the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails. But there are a lot of people who are not.
Well...
including FBI officials looking into whether national security was compromised because of this server. And this is something else that is very... Bernie Sanders said that, quote, the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails. But there are a lot of people who are not.
Well...
including FBI officials looking into whether national security was compromised because of this server. And this is something else that is very... Bernie Sanders said that, quote, the American...
Are you amused? You ready to take the Trump right up the rump? That's what you get. Or you get this unbelievable, wild, denying woman that never really admits to any lies at all. How do you like that? Open the game. Well, let me take you on a journey to the future of America. I bring you the 99-cent download of my book, Hybrid Capitalism. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, it's a great book. If you haven't downloaded it yet, 99 cents to get you there. It shows you our clear pathway to a better country and helping the economy, getting the government to run as a business and get a return on investments. Big difference, really, 99 cents. It's great. Then we have this pro-legalization plan, which is awesome. No, I don't tell lies. I'm going to have to report you to Mark. Yeah. I'm going to have to report you to Mark. Let me videotape this conference we're having the chat right now. It's pretty funny, isn't it? Got nothing to lose. Yeah. Everything to gain. And I wanted to pay Americans first to really help you guys realize that I care about the American people. First and foremost, not non-U.S. citizens. Thank you. Big difference between me and the other guys. Spine on me. All right, so let me get the chat room up and running here. I seem to have lost you. Oh, there we are. Hating my guts. Wow. Why would anyone hate my guts? I don't hate him. No, we've been getting nothing but capacity servers. You can ask anybody. Scissor Fight, haven't we had nothing but capacity servers on our show? Haven't many of you reached capacity servers? And there's never been a problem on News Views or any of his shows. Yeah, there's clear censorship going on. We should probably put together a petition or something. Chat lost connection. We've dropped. Okay. We're still broadcasting on YouTube. Refresh. Yeah, it's a capacity issue. Love you too. Yeah. Again, we get nothing but votes. They just don't count the write-in candidates. 585. Until we get 25,000 votes, we won't reach that threshold. It's fine on your end. Good. Thank you. We had a few drop frames a few minutes ago. So we need 25,000 votes per state. I need you to get active. I need you to start thinking about talking to everybody you can. I need to promote this link. No, we've got 25,000. Oh yeah, we've neared 25,000 in previous elections. We just can't count the votes until we get to 25,000. Thank you. Trump doesn't roll. He's got a dictatorial style of speaking. He talks as if he's doing something and he's not. The fact is, repeating the same things over and over again, expecting different results, is not going to make our country better. Saying he's going to make America great again, I don't know. I never thought our country wasn't that great to start with. I move on to the next election. Every election, 195, is the next move to the 2020 election. I'm not giving up the American people. I'm the one who's been fighting all along for 8 years. You can't stop me. Yeah, this is always a work in progress, building a third party. So I'll be building a third party from 2017 all the way to 2020. I'll decide in 2019 if I'm going to run. I haven't made that. I might decide earlier. Ben Carson's repeated warnings Obama may use martial law to postpone election. That's a good one. Ben finally came up with something credible. Obama's prepping to keep power. So you guys got a reason to write my name in. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. All right. Yeah, Mickey Mouse gets votes. Nope, I was never spaced out, and I can tell you I haven't had any chance to actually get into the dialogue. I've been completely censored in the mainstream media. Anyone who says otherwise is completely out of his mind. Trump, if he has money, I mean, I'd love to know where it is, because he has only put about $250,000 down on his election. He's loaned a lot of money to his campaign, but he didn't really put a lot of his money into it yet. So if he has billions, that's kind of shocking. I mean, he has the value of my house, basically. That's all he's put in real cash. Yeah, so this whole thing is completely contrived and controlled. Wall Street executives want Trump. The Koch brothers don't. They're funding Marco Rubio. That came up in the news yesterday. Marco Rubio is kind of slumping in the polls and hasn't really pulled back, but people are banking on the idea that Marco Rubio is a sounder, more stable solution for the Republican Party. Plus, he carries the Latino votes. Trump is going to lose the Latino votes in swing states. And we know that that is a big problem. Trump is also going to probably lose, of course, lesbian votes, many women who respect Megyn Kelly votes. He's probably going to lose a lot of those Muslim votes. You know, a lot of Muslims vote for people. Yeah, those loans are really a big problem for those. Yeah, this is not a wig, man. 799 thinks this is a wig. Wow. I never heard from Mark that he wants to close my channel. That's just hearsay. I don't like Rubio. I have grossly overestimated the intelligence of the American people. I haven't underestimated the stupidity. Megyn Kelly was saying a lot of things very nice to Trump when he attacked her eyes, claiming she was bleeding from the eyes. Now, when Trump said if he went out in the street and shot somebody, that his supporters are so loyal that they'd keep voting for him, that's called homicidal ideation. That's a little weird for a presidential candidate to claim if they went out in the street and shot somebody. I don't like any of the other people running for president, no. I've overestimated my own ignorance. It's true. I've never underestimated it, though. Don't try to think about this. Folks, if your mind is struggling, you're burning too much glucose. Forget thinking about anything and just go into a state of absolute bliss. That way you can conserve your energy. Prepare for the apocalypse. Yeah. Many of you haven't really figured this out yet. This is actually a goal to lower your energy drain. Because as we move forward, in case you didn't know, we're living in a world of radiation, air pollution, glyphosate in our soil, the Dow Chemical and Monsanto want to pollute the entire ground we walk on. The water, 50% of our water is really being toxic. That's just a shocker. I mean, I read a story in New York Times editorial about 4 years ago. They said, yeah, 50% of our water is toxic. Toxic. So what I want to have is much more point of use water filtration. Creating a solution to the incredible problems in the economy would be to spark the green, clean energy sector. And I'm not waiting around. I'm going to be spearheading plans to produce government products. And this is where I'm different than even Bernie. Bernie doesn't understand this concept. This is in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, which is on our website in our store for 99 cents. It's a very simple plan to actually get the government to produce certain key products that are pretty cool, that could very well help the economy because they'll provide fresh water and energy using renewable energy solutions. So here's just a couple of our ideas, like the ocean pipeline. We can mass produce these and sell them around the world. China, Africa, a lot of applications. Gaza Strip, it desalinates seawater. We can use it in California as well. It's a pretty cool idea. We've got a lot of cool ideas that just you don't get from Trump. He doesn't have any new ideas. Obviously, his legalization wouldn't even be legalization. The guy's never even smoked marijuana, or so he says. Legalization is going to spark our economy big time. And if you don't think that's important, then obviously you haven't seen the benefits of what's happening in states like Washington and Colorado. All around the country. There's 50 different states that have that. And nobody's ever died from an overdose or a death from marijuana. So there's a strong reason. The book took us 2 years to write. We did it in 2012. If they shut me down, I'm going to go to an attorney. Yeah. Plus, I'll be broadcasting at AmericasThirdParty.com. Don't worry. We'll pick up from there if we ever get cut down from any servers. I've also got a backup plan, too, at Cool Rock to run our show. I'm not gay, man. Never was. Many of you guys are troubled. You're living in your mom's basement. You're stealing $20 bills from her purse. You don't have a future. Trump's not going to give you any money, by the way. He's a guy who exploits labor in order to make money himself. That's how rich people get rich. That's how the 1% is the 1%. That's why the separation of wealth is so extreme. So if you want to, get behind a plan to stop the Trumpster, you need to go on the internet as one of my supporters and promote that link. Okay? Yeah, I'm not slandering anybody. It's a link library of stuff related to Trump that I think people should know about. Peter, oh yeah, you can even send a PayPal to AmericasThirdParty@gmail.com. AmericasThirdParty@gmail.com. Yep, but on our website is a donate button. It'll take you to the PayPal button. We don't have any connection to the account. It's separate. Sarah and I put that together, and we file quarterly reports with the FEC. And we are 100% FEC compliant, and that's one of the reasons why I've done this show for no gain whatsoever for 8 years now. I went to public school too, Dr. No. I have a domain, yes, AmericasThirdParty.com. Maybe you guys don't realize we are at AmericasThirdParty.com. How many times do I have to tell you? Maybe I should have a mnemonic reminder for you to remember this. Because I think you're having a problem with that. There you go. Is that better? AmericasThirdParty.com. Well, if I don't get any notice if he shuts me down, he'll be getting a notice from my attorney. It doesn't matter. You can always check us out at AmericasThirdParty.com. Wow. I'm not bashing a future president. I'm telling you there's 10 reasons not to vote for Trump. Most people want to vote for Hillary now. Many people don't realize that Trump votes are actually Hillary votes. You don't get that. All right. Well, many of you don't understand what's going on. The simple fact is, we can talk till the cows come home about how we're going to make America great again without telling you one single thing, like Trump does. Or we can tell you how America is great and how it's going to get better with great new technologies and ideas that will help give you a job. There, you tweeted it. Good for you. You did it. Aren't you proud? Congratulations. We have a solar rooftop plan where we can actually create a viral industry for America, that we will not partner with private business to do this. We'll try to keep that partnership, the venture capitalist connection out. Like Solyndra was a big, huge loss for America. $530 million wasted on a company that didn't produce solar panels. Yeah, America is great and always will be. Thank you. Well, I'm not expecting anybody to shut me down. Anyone that stupid would be facing a lawsuit. Plus, there's defamation of character issues. And if for any reason my IP address has been revealed to somebody on the other side, like this guy Sky, that's definitely a prosecutable offense. Yeah. In fact, subpoenas on the records would reveal a connection, and that would probably, be part of the discovery process my attorney would be pursuing. All right, many of you don't understand why you're gay. I don't know. You're probably gay because you're eating too many hot dogs or something. Possibly. The truth is you're getting a lot of hormones in your beef byproducts. So you have these gay ideas because you've got a surge of testosterone and you're right on the verge of what appears to be homosexual panic. Coming in here and claiming you're accusing me of being gay implies that you're really close to that edge. Yeah, guys, thank you for that link to America's Third Party. Claiming I'm paranoid, no. We've already, look, you guys can see the server capacity issues in your room right now. Every night we do the show, we have over 1,000 or 2,000 viewers wanting to come in here. And he's got server capacity things going on all the time saying, oh, can't handle it. But, case in point, news views, they don't have any problem. His gaming show, he doesn't have any problem. So clearly there's lack of equal protection under the law here. A violation of trade practices like that, providing one venue more than the other, is a clear violation of its trade practices and its terms of service. So we would go after that. There's no disease here, guys. People are attempting to censor me on a daily basis. It's been happening for a long time. We're going to go ahead and turn guest chat off as per request. And many of you are going to be disappointed for a while because you can't exactly communicate here. We got a lot of supporters here, folks, and many people don't realize that this is a nonstop battle against the tide of stupidity, the status quo, the establishment. Many Trump supporters are people that are living like right on the edge, working for some company, thinking they're going to get promoted. They're mindless, dribblehead idiots, wage slaves that think they're going to be rich like Trump someday. That's the mindset of most of the supporters that he has. Somehow they'll be rich too. And that's so far from the truth, it's pathetic. It shows you how mindless the average American has become and how they've literally like salivating when they get near rich people. It shows me how really money has corrupted our country to the point where now they think only money will buy the politicians that they need to help the country, which is kind of sad in and of itself, I think. And they can't see the forest from the trees. These are the politicians that continue to give big, huge Wall Street executives like Donald Trump bailouts for 4 major corporations that literally went bankrupt under his tutelage, or whatever you call it. I don't know how you let companies companies go bankrupt and then just walk away. It just makes it's disgusting. It's called the buyout practice, and it's going on all the time. Carlyle Group is one of the buyout practices companies. There's a lot of them. The Trump Enterprises. There's Mitt Romney's Bain Capital. There's former Vice President Dan Quayle is CEO of a company called Cerberus. These are all the big, huge corporations that rely on cronyism in politics. They control the Republican and Democratic Party. That's why they hate me so much. Jackson, you got a call from the Hillary campaign. You gave them a hard time. Good for you, man. Right on. Yeah, Mitt Romney, Bain Capital, the whole deal. So we don't want these corrupt Wall Street executives. And, many people are like going, well, Bernie's right. Not really. Bernie's just a puppet. Bernie's just a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. Bernie could have gone independent years ago, but he's always been living in the shadow of the Democratic Party because he wants to schmooze. He's even got a lawsuit. He likes money so much, he's got a lawsuit against the Democratic Party over failed exchange of information or something. So yeah, Bernie doesn't understand the fact that we need a person who can make surgical cuts in the budget and focus on firing everybody at the SEC. Bernie's never said that. I will fire everyone at the SEC as soon as I become president. We're going to replace them with watchdog groups that can actually get the job done. And the people in Wall Street are going to be shivering in their timbers. This is not a Klan picture, NBA champion. That's just derogatory. I don't accept that. I'm purging you. This is an image of truth tonight. I'm wearing a white coat because it embodies truth. All right, so jobs. We got a plan that will be implemented directly with the home program at HUD. We'll not need Congress to approve this. None of my ideas in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, require Congress per se. Our flat tax idea will require Congress, but that flat tax is not like Trump's. Trump wants to penalize the poor. He wants to have a tax on everybody at all income levels. I say let anybody with less than $100,000 income not pay any kind of an income tax. So anybody, business, individual, corporation, even nonprofit, who make more than 100,000 will pay over that 100,000. So everybody gets a $100,000 deductible. Isn't that cool? I think it's going to help charge the economy. Well, Jace tried to put me on the ballot in Michigan. They told me they couldn't. That's because you were voting in the primary. Every state except for two, Louisiana and Oklahoma, have a write-in candidate location at the bottom of the ballot. That's all you got to do is write my name in at the bottom of the ballot. But you can't go through electronic voting turnstiles. Ask for a paper ballot at every single voting booth. But the primary elections are just specifically for the Republican and Democratic Party. Just so you know. They're not really designed for the general population. I want you to realize that they're catering to the major parties, and there's been a conspiracy of sorts. Third parties have been kept out of, minor parties have been kept out of the race because ballot laws are so unfair. In fact, the truth is, ballot laws are different for a president in every state, which is a clear and gross violation of equal protection under the law in the 14th Amendment. So we have a big problem here. So one of my moves in 2016 might be just to go ahead and sue the Federal Election Commission on ballot law just unfairness. So we were thinking that would be a really good launch point, because every single ballot should be the same for a U.S. office, like a U.S. Senator or U.S. House of Representative or President. There shouldn't be a different road for everybody, but there is. I'm thinking it might be a good move to sue the FEC. NBA champion, you're not behaving like a person who wants to be in the room. Yeah, you're going to be banned now because of that. Yeah. Oh well. So much for mindless idiots that support Trump, right? That's all I can do, Jackson. A lot of people just don't get it, folks. They're living in a world of make-believe. They're probably borrowed money, like Trump. A tremendous amount of money. They're probably living in debt. on like a shoestring budget, and they max out on their credit cards every day. I think those kind of people are going to want to vote for somebody like Trump because they don't even know how to get out of debt by cutting back. They're living way beyond their means, and they expect this country to continue to borrow money to create that future. I represent a different economic philosophy, one of solvency and cutting waste where we can, but not in any way jeopardizing the flow of operations, and certainly not hurt the little guy. I want to make sure we have plenty of services available for people, even homeless people. So yeah, I'm promoting something much more progressive than Trump. Nope, you can't infiltrate the two parties, Sephiroth. I'm sorry, but the two parties are the problem. Infiltrating the major parties is not possible. I wouldn't have started a third party if I felt that was what needed to be done. They are corrupted through and through. It's like, are you going to eat a rotten fruit or an apple or an avocado? I mean, you ever tried opening an avocado? It's all black inside. Are you going to eat that? Fusion power has great promise. Cold fusion has great promise. Bill Clinton shut it down, the program, in 2000 before he left office. Cold fusion and the integral fast reactor to get rid of spent fuel rods, that's an excellent thing. It's up at our America's Third Party. So if you want to go to America's Third Party, you can get the stream without video glitches. This access depletion we're getting, capacity server issue we're getting at Vaughn, we've been getting it for 4 months now, is just their way of censoring us. Yeah, definitely. So count on a rebuild of the Yucca Flats facility. Over $7 billion has gone into the Yucca Flats facility, and I will revive that, and we'll be bringing in a better solution with the Ocean Pipeline project. I want to run the Ocean Pipeline from Los Angeles to Vegas, all the way to Nevada, and up to the Yucca Flats facility. I want to run a water stream to that location so that we can use it as a cooling vessel for a fast breeder reactor right next to the Yucca Flats facility. So as we put things in the ground, we will reduce the amount of waste that's in the spent fuel rods by as much as 97% reductions. So across the nation right now, we've got 104 nuclear reactors, maxed out, spent fuel rods in every swimming pool there, and we are literally sitting on potential dirty bomb problems across the nation. So we've got to deal with that. And our space program has collapsed under the existing guidance of the joke we call NASA. So NASA and NOAA will be fused under a new agency program. I'm not sure, we will keep the names, of course, but we're going to be amalgamating the cost of those two agencies. Right now it's around $35 billion for the two agencies to operate. We'll be cutting the cost to about $20 billion, but we're going to put together a payload of unmanned flights that will offer satellite capabilities for any private vendor. We will be offering satellite lifts using the old Apollo program as a basis. And we'll also get unmanned flights to the moon that would include mining the moon. That's one of the proposals I'll be putting together. It's got a revival of everything that Obama shut down, and we're not going to privatize. Handing the football off to Virgin Galactic or Elon Musk and SpaceX has been a complete disaster. Both of those have had major problems with landings and takeoffs. It's a joke what's happening right now. Profiteers have taken over the very infrastructure that our great nation has invested. And these corrupt government politicians are willing to sell our infrastructure like it was nothing. Like Chris Christie, who just endorsed Trump. They are willing to sell our government off piecemeal just to finance their expansion, whatever that is. Yeah, you believe we landed a moon? That's nice. That's good. I'm glad you believe that. It's unlikely we're going to get anyone, a man-moon or man-Mars mission going. Didn't you ever ask yourself, metallic mentalist, why we haven't been to the moon back 47 years now? Why have we waited this long to go back? Does that even cross your mind as to why we haven't gone back? Well, that's it for another show. We can talk about that. No, actually, tonight would be a good night to talk about it. The truth is, the Van Allen belts have posed a much greater barrier than mankind has been aware of. That's the truth. The Van Allen belts are perhaps the greatest obstacle for our nation to get past, But we can do flights in and out of our inner atmosphere, in the ionosphere. There's no question about that. We can even fly vehicles as high as 70,000 feet. But the fact is, we are not capitalizing on that. In fact, we haven't done a lot. This country's kind of neglected its industries and ignored opportunities. Even young people. Now, Hillary's coming out with a plan that they're not going to be able to finance. A free education plan, like they have here in what all these countries have free educations, 4-year educations. The U.S. is much larger population than these countries. But it's amazing how they're able to finance a 4-year education. We can't. I'm not proposing free 4-year education or 2-year education. I'm proposing a free 6-week to 6-month certification program where you can actually get a job. I don't want to give the private education system and all those rich universities more money than they already have. My opinion on the Van Allen belts has not changed at all. No, I still believe the Van Allen belts are way too strong to fly in and out of. I think it's preposterous to think that we actually went to the moon. I mean, we could talk about that tonight later in our video show. I've got numerous videos I could play and I like watching them. It just makes the reality of the moon landing more and more farcical. It becomes a farce. I can show you scientists at NASA talking about, right now I can show it to you, talking about how someday we'll be able to leave the Earth and go to the moon. They're actually speaking about it. They sign a waiver when they join NASA. They can't talk about the reality that we never went to the moon. It comes as a shock to many people. My trailer ISP provider is getting DOSed? Really? Well, that would be a breach of my security through the Vaughn network, if that's the case. Yeah, that's another cause for a lawsuit. Okay, we're getting hosed at the network. Okay. I'm going to take a chance on you and shut down my server. Hang on. I'm going to run a lighter load here. Yeah, this should help. Tell me if this helps. Helps. Is this better? Am I coming in? How's the video? My server's messed? No, my server's coming out pretty good. Wow. 1 per second. Okay, well, there's definitely some there's some DDoSing attacks going on. Looks good. Frame rate. Okay. I'm going to put my system to a minimum here. I'm shutting down operations. I'm trying to run a bare minimum structure here so I can chat with both of you in all chat rooms. Here's a 13-year-old who's created an energy harvesting device. Let's take a look at this little video. I didn't know it came in.
Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah, they said. A whiz kid with a very powerful idea. Max Lahin shares his story in tonight's Someone to Know.
Do you think a 13-year-old could change the world? Well, this one might change your mind. Dressed in his lab coat,
yeah, I wear this fairly often.
Max Lahin sits in his parents' old boiler room, converted into a lab.
I am in a boiler room right now.
And he ponders the future often.
The future that I imagine is the future, frankly, that we all imagine.
He wants to make the world a better place. And to do that, you need one single thing.
If you got energy, you got power, you have everything.
So to solve this problem, a few months ago, Max took the matter into his own hands and created this electromagnetic harvester out of a coffee can, some wire, 2 coils, and a spoon.
This cost me $14.
The harvester conducts radio waves, thermal and static energy, and turns it into electricity.
Beautiful.
This wire takes the energy from the air. Down below here, we turn it from AC into DC.
So we take the device outside and wrap up Max's brother into a string of LED lights.
Bing!
A $14 invention was able to do that. Wow. So imagine the same harvester on a scale 20 times larger.
I'm very proud of him.
Max's family is thrilled with what he's accomplished, and nobody is more impressed than his twin brother, Jack.
Creating free energy, a device that he made in his lab out of $15, which is pretty amazing. As cheesy as this sounds, from day one on this planet, I knew that I was put on here for a reason, and that reason is to invent, to bring the future.
Max has always admired Albert Einstein and inventor Nikola Tesla. They taught him a little bit more than just science.
Make the world a better place, to give the world what it doesn't have, so that it doesn't have to struggle in basic things like energy.
Max isn't in it for the money or the recognition.
My true goal is to help, to invent a future where people can be happy, people can be safe and sound.
That's one kid with a whole lot of power.
And believe.
Okay, I'm going to drop off the Vaughn signal and go back on. So you're going to have to yeah. Well, no, I'll keep it going. You tell me how bad the quality of that video was. Yeah, just your take on how bad it is. It's that electromagnetic harvester that he created, it's very similar to a device that I have in paper form. It's an ion generator that I possess the blueprints for. That actually I was working with another engineer for a couple of years here in the area, and he actually submitted these plans to Boeing about 15 years ago. And what it does is you basically send a tether into the atmosphere on a balloon, and you're able to pick up all kinds of electromagnetic energy and convert it to electricity. The fact is, what that young man stumbled on has been going on for a long, long time. There's countless examples of suppressed inventions throughout time. For the past 300 years, there have been suppressed inventions just like the one that young man created. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, there was a person in my area I was working with for a couple of years developing some ideas. We never got to the final point, but he presented to me with some blueprints that he gave to Boeing as well. And Boeing never gave them back. He said that they actually kept the blueprints for his ion generator, but it was using the same principle as that young man was using. And it was basically putting a tether in the atmosphere. Okay, I'll bring guest out on. Let's go ahead and guess you guys get back in the chat room. But there's a tremendous amount of potential energy out there that we're not bringing in because, like I said, the oil and coal lobby has been controlling politics for so very long. That's why we're paying higher prices for electricity every year. And we shouldn't be. We should be actually scaling prices down, just like gas has come down. But they've got all kinds of scams. What about the scam of shipping? I heard Apple and Microsoft are meeting to collaborate on challenging the FBI. Yes, because I agree. Apple and Microsoft should not have to reveal encryption data. Trump is off base on this one completely. He's serving on the side of the NSA and lack of privacy. And believe me, the NSA can get a hold of that information off that phone from the San Bernardino couple with simply getting a hardware engineer and a software engineer to break through the phone. They don't need encryption software broken. And I definitely agree with the FBI, or rather the Apple's countersuit against the FBI. I'm concerned that it's way beyond the reach of the FBI to ask for encryption data software to be broken. That was awesome. Yeah, so young people around the country for years have been developing solutions. Countless examples like Stanley Meyer, the guy who came up with a water-running dune buggy that ran on water. Well, I wouldn't doubt it's a plot to end the presidential candidacy of Trump, but It's really more about the FBI, I think. The recent, I don't know any personal information. That's just my take on it. It looks to me like, that's just a reach to think they're trying to go after Trump. I think they're trying to get a strategy to deal with the FBI's breach of our personal privacy using just a forceful judicial outreach, which is very wrong for the FBI to go beyond their scope. John McAfee, the other guy running for president, libertarian, had a really good little video describing how all you need is a hardware and a software engineer, and any phone is hackable. You have to create an assembler code to break through the language of the encryption, and it can be done, he said, in about a half an hour by an expert. So when John McAfee makes statements, and he is an expert on this subject, you have to wonder, does the FBI even know? And he even made that comment recently. Now let me play you a little bit of that video. It's worth looking at.
Us tonight. Well, and how are you going to do on Super Tuesday? Are you on any ballots across the country?
No, sir. The check for security, so that we don't check for security anymore. Once it has that software, it can use that software on any phone. But they say they only need it for one phone. So I'm going to tell the world exactly how we do this. Now, I'll probably lose my admission to the world hackers community. However, I'm going to tell you. You need a hardware engineer and a software engineer. The hardware engineer takes the phone apart, and it copies the instruction set, which is the iOS and applications, and your memory. And then you run a piece of a program called a disassembler, which takes all the ones and zeros and gives you readable instructions. Then the coder sits down and he reads through. And what he's looking for is the first access to the keypad, because that's the first thing you're doing when you input your pad. It'll take half an hour. When you see that, then he reads the instructions for where in memory this secret code is stored. It is that trivial. A half an hour. Now, I said 3 weeks. Why? Because if I got the flu or a cold, I did not want to have to eat my shoe, like I said, on Neil Covito. But it is a half-hour job. The FBI knows this. Apple knows this. And this is not an indictment of Apple. Any computer, and this is a computer, any computer that falls into someone's hands, well, anybody can do it, which is why corporate data centers keep their computers locked up, and which is why we ought to keep our own phones locked up. It's not an indictment of Apple. Any computer, any software, whether it's Android, Apple, or what have you, can be done. We can do this with any machine.
All right, there you have it. So he literally spelled it out for everybody, and as simple as that. The FBI can break in any phone right now that they want. Why are they asking for all encryption data to be broken? These are the safeguards you expect so that criminals can't get your phone and grab your credit card numbers. If they breach the encryption capability of an Apple or a Microsoft-based program, and Microsoft's on board with this too. That's why I think the meeting between Apple and Microsoft is just that. It's a preparation for the FBI, this countersuit that they've launched against the FBI. I'm only listening to this guy. He's not been known as a murderer. He was just an expert on the subject. That's why we're listening to him. Sephiroth, I'm only banning people because they're here supporting Donald Trump. Why would I want somebody supporting Donald Trump in our show? I'll unban the guy to give him a second chance, but I mean, I've made it very clear, anybody who supports Donald Trump here will get purged and then banned. I'll unban Raj Mittal, but we're not in any way, permanent. I have an unbanned list. We've unbanned everybody except for this recent attack Sky guy. He came into our news tech section and threatened me. I'm not real happy with, somebody threatening me. We'll keep guesties on. I'm going to need to take a bathroom break in a little bit, so maybe Sarah can come into the show. I don't know. I'm hoping she'll be able to come in just a bit because I drank a little too much water earlier and it's probably time. So let's look at the future of the world under the two-party system without the ocean pipeline. Okay? Where everybody's basically dead. Okay. I'm going to keep that as a visual reminder of what voting for Hillary or Donald will be for the future of America. Many of you may not think this is the future, but it really is. You see, people who have profited the 1% have raped the earth, destroyed the land we live on. Water that we drink is polluted. And now they want to get rid of us. So if you can't figure that out with all the evidence in front of you, then you just don't understand what's happening. It's serious, and they don't stop at just a small plan. This is a long-term plan that they've been doing for many years. I'm not part of their plan. They've never planned on a person like me standing up against all odds to fight for a third party. They've never, ever could imagine the tenacity of an American who stands up against the lies and deceit of a corrupt two-party system. But welcome to America's Third Party, everybody, and the future of American politics. If you want a better picture, go to our America's Third Party, and I'll give you the link in the chat room. We have a good picture over there. And it's connected to the Vaughn chat, so you can still get guest chat over there as well. It's a bypass to the Vaughn server capacity issue that we've been facing for the past 4 months. Thank you. So check out that site. Sorry, Raj, I kicked you out earlier. I brought you back in. Sorry about the... Yeah, I was banning you inappropriately. I didn't know if you were aware of it. We don't support Donald Trump here. We don't support a bigger police state. I don't want more surveillance, I want less. I support cleaning the ocean, stopping fluoridation of our water system, which is a complete waste. If you want to use fluoridated toothpaste, that's fine. Go for it. And if you don't like the water you drink, we'll have an option. You can get a filter system installed in your house, courtesy of the EPA, the new and improved EPA. I'm not happy with the fact that the EPA is doing absolutely nothing to prevent water pollution in homes that are affected by fracking and God knows what. I have a plan to bring our troops home. Donald and Hillary do not. I want to end the Federal Reserve. I'm beyond auditing them now. We're just going to end their charter when I'm president. I will not stop until I achieve my goals, and if you think I'm kidding, just sit back and watch, because that's what this is all about. This is about American commitment to the future and to bettering our environment and improving the world for our children and their children. What we have right now are corporate cronies running our government into the ground, profiting. Deep in debt, these people are now trying to go for even more. The presidency, trying to take it away from the American people. And we've never had a chance to get a real president on the ballot who's an average American. We've had only coddled puppets like Barack Obama, who had his entire life was like a basketball player in the NBA. He was treated like that all his life. All right. Anyway, let's get down to reality that this is the future with the two-party system, and unfortunately, you won't be living. Most of you will be no longer alive. We will have 90% of the population in America destroyed. It's kind of an unhappy and harsh reality that I'm painting, but I need to be very blunt right now. There's no other way to shock you into reality, to scare you into reality. I have to pull these tactics because these are real facts that are kind of looming. A greater police state with the two parties, poisoning of our water system, GMOs in our diet, radiation everywhere because nobody wants to tap the radiation problem in the world and control it. An endless degradation of the environment we're living in. More of healthcare problems, higher priced medical care, the raping of your family's budget, all your savings by a group of Zionists that want to control the world. That's putting it mildly. Okay, thank you. I played this for all of you the other night. I wanted to show you this website called Daigle.com, which proposes that the future of America will have a population of, it's shocking, but the forecast for 2025 will be the U.S. will have 65 million people. That's their projection. It's a very official website, so I will show it to you in the chat link. Yep. That has a population of 65 million projected for 2025. We have a population of 320 million right now. How are they going to get from 320 million to 65 million? What's the game plan? You tell me. We're about to be taken over. That's right. So if we don't realize the importance here of building this third party, then you don't get the whole idea of what we've been doing. I've never forced a health care act. I will nullify Obamacare. We will rescind Affordable Care Act because it's not affordable. It's a 30% gouge, and we will use that as the argument to go back to the Supreme Court, claiming, and this is the treatment I would put with my claim. Essentially, we'd build an argument that Justice Roberts, the Chief Justice of the American Supreme Court, has actually violated the Supreme Court, and we seek impeachment simply because he used the General Welfare Clause to promote private industry. Corporations like Cigna, Humana, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Primera, you name it. They make 30 to 40% more money on the Affordable Care Act. Therefore, Chief Justice Roberts should be impeached by the Congress. I would argue that he is certainly a major problem in that he has actually been a functional epileptic on high medication during his tenure as a Supreme Court Justice. I would argue that many of the other appointments under Obama may be fraudulent, and we will pursue a case against Barack Obama's birth certificate in federal court. We will pursue a case of fraud, and we will nullify the Supreme Court nominations of Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor and seek to impeach them as well based on a similar premise. All right? Just to get a little bit of equal playing field to deal with the crisis at hand. If they're going to end up murdering Justice Scalia and covering it up with no autopsy, are we going to sit back and watch our country get flushed down the toilet by a bunch of liberal Marxists? Or worse than that, by a fascist known as Trump? I mean, seriously. Our country's come to this Marxism versus fascism? That's our big choice now? I think not. And we need to step up our effort to stop this incredible stupidity from taking over our country. Look what they're putting our projected, it's just phenomenal, projected population of America. Our current population is 319 million. Projection of 65 million is just absolutely shocking. How are they going to get to that level? Pandemic, food shortages, toxic waste in the atmosphere, people dying of cancer, or all of the above. Your guess is as good as mine, really. Yeah, no autopsy for, I smell a rat too. You know this new story about Meisner too? You hear about the story, the truth of the shooting of his wife, Meisner, the former Eagles rock and roller? Yeah, this is a shocker, this story. Let me show it to you. No investigation into Meisner being a homicidal killer of his wife, but Eagles co-founder Randy Meisner's wife dies in an accidental shooting. Let me give you a little background on the story here. Check this out. I'm wondering if somebody didn't pay somebody off here on this one. I mean, you hear about this all the time, but Eagles co-founder Randy Meisner, wife dies in an accidental shooting. This is just a few days ago. He's on the right. Anyway, North Hollywood officers responded to a call of a shooting at 7 p.m., the department said in a statement. They found Lana Meisner with a single gunshot wound. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, they claim she was killed when she moved a rifle stored in a case in a closet, the statement said. As she lifted the rifle in the case, another item within the case shifted and hit the trigger of the rifle, causing it to fire, fatally injuring Mrs. Meisner. And Randy Meisner was cooperative through the investigation. She was in her early 60s, Randy's 69. He co-wrote and led Taking It to the Limit, Hotel California, blah, blah, blah. When his friend Fry died in January, Meisner reached the New York Daily News, said he started crying for a long time. You're like brothers in a band like that. But Meisner had his own health struggles. In 2013, he choked on a piece of food and fell into a coma. And the other band members helped pay his medical bills. But in 2015, he was temporarily placed under 24-hour observation supervision after allegedly threatening a murder-suicide. He was threatened to kill his wife and commit suicide last year. And now his wife shows up with a gunshot in her head. Or wherever. I don't know where it landed that killed her. I don't know. I smell a rat. But where's the investigation? Do I know Ochin, Japan? They play your show in NHK. Oh, thank you. Guest 3599. I'm getting played at Ochin from Japan. Thank you so much. Welcome, Japanese viewers. Thank you for coming in. This is a huge thing I want to do. I want to save the Earth, and especially help you with your Fukushima reactor problem, work with Shinzo Abe, and develop a plan, a strategy to deal with this crisis, because we believe TEPCO has failed. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate that. Supporting Trump is not something I approve of here. I will purge you. You say bad things about Trump, that's okay. As long as you're not, threatening him. You can't threaten the presidential candidate. Always remember that. Well, saving the ocean helps the sea life like the dolphins, and it will certainly help fisheries deal with, profiting from the ocean. So I'm not just hating on profiteers, but personally I don't like the reckless, destruction of the whale and dolphin population. So yeah, you have a good point, Ballot. Very good. Yeah, so I'm going to have to extricate myself from this chair because I think Sarah probably went to bed. Let me give you my personal artificial intelligent robot while I come in here and give you a little music to play. Welcome to the show.
ATP, you and me.
Okay. Let me bring you more of that interview that we just played.
Tonight. Well, and how are you going to do on Super Tuesday? Are you on any ballots across the country?
It is that trivial. A half an hour. Now, I said 3 weeks. Why? Because if I got the flu or a cold, I did not want to have to eat my shoe, like I said, on Neil Cavitto. But it is a half-hour job. The FBI knows this. Apple knows this. And this is not an indictment of Apple.
All right. We're back. Thank you. Again, you cannot promote Trump here. It's purgeable offense. Yeah. I'm going to pull guest chat off right now. I'm not wearing a wig, in case you're wondering. This is my real hair. Yeah, Sarah's going to talk to you for a bit while I take and use the restroom. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Definitely. Well, I wonder, Dr. No, when they will take responsibility for the mess we are in. That's a good question. I would say that that's one of the reasons that we need Sponheim to be president, so that we can get the government to take responsibility for the mess we are in. Yeah. yeah, Iceland did take care of some of that problem. Hello, Beekman. Hello, Mama June. Hello, Planet X. Hello, Metallic Mentalist. Flippity clop. Cute. Cute pumpkin pony. Alright. Well, David has Don't Stop Up. Ooh. Thank you very much. And I didn't go to bed quite yet, but I'm one of those near there. Something like that. No way. That must have been David must have been extremely tired that night. That's bizarre. Interesting, Beekman. I wonder when that was. Oh goodness, maybe I should leave that up, but David will. Anyway. No, I always give David 2 breaks in the evening. And so I gave him a little one later. No, I didn't check Facebook, Mama June. Is that what I have to look forward to? Interesting. Maybe I won't check Facebook for a while. Oh, you showed that to him yesterday? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Alright. I wonder, anyway, what else is happening and all that good stuff. My life is very good. Breaks? Well, he's on the show all the time, Sephiroth. So I allow, that way he can go take a break and use the restroom, or take a break and go get coffee, or whatever he needs to do to continue the show with you. So I come into the show and then he takes a little break and then I come back. That's what, if you want me to explain. I'm curious. Oh, you think so? I know, it's amazing. I love the island out west that we live at. Okay. So, this is deagle.com and they say forecast. Yeah, population. I think it's down 65 million. They expect the population in the U.S. to drop 65 billion. And they expect the 65 million for the U.S. and they expect the world population to go down 6.7 billion. I wonder how that will work. So they have some news here. Raytheon Standard Missile 6 successfully demonstrates anti-ship capability. U.S. Navy proves Standard Missile SM-6 multiple targets engagement capability. Newest U.S. Navy powered aircraft carrier unreliable against anti-ship missiles. Alright, and then they have all these aircraft and sea power and ground forces and strategic and missile systems and government links and sources and equipment guides. Huh. I wonder what... I just want to go to just deagle.com itself. Guide to military equipment and civil aviation. Okay. I want to look at their news. Go back. Okay. Alright, and then where is the video? Alright. Great cast as always. You had to make your monthly visit. Thank you, Metallic Mentalist, for your stopping by. Yes. Alright. You need a bourbon shot? Okay. I'm not in favor of the race baiting from the far left. Good night, Sunstar. Take care. See ya, Pumpkin Pony. Good night. Oh, Potato Girl is not a girl. Alright, thank you, Mama June. And you're not a mama. Or a girl named June. So I guess that's, you know, both of you want to be women. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. Oh, nice. Very good. I don't drink bourbon, so... AppleInsider.com. Oh, interesting. According technology industry leaders including Apple CEO Tim Cook, Google co-founder Larry Page, and Tesla and SpaceX, Elon Musk met with GOP representatives at the secretive American Enterprise Institute annual World Forum this past weekend to discuss how to halt Republican presidential Donald Trump, a report said Monday. Well, all they would need to do is push for David Swanheim. Sarah, who is proof equals facts on YouTube? I don't know. I've seen that person come into our I've seen that username come into our show before. I don't drink any alcoholic beverages, Metallic Mentalist. Yep, I like chocolate milk, hot chocolate, mint tea, hot apple juice, orange juice. That's it. They're posting my videos. You thought I might know them? Cool. I don't know them, but that's fine that they post my videos, I suppose. Way to promote us. Alright. Okay. I'll leave these up for David. Oh, ridiculous. No, I've never had monkey pinked tea. Why do I have this open? I suppose, yeah, I'm gonna close this. I'll leave that open, I suppose. And hello, Voodoo Vanguard. Sorry, David, you have one question. Sorry. Indicted? Oh, why? No, we're not upset. Alan Fueling. Hello. Alright. I don't know if you guys are still there. Really? Trained monkeys that pick the tea off the sides of cliffs? Wow. That's pretty cool. No, thanks, Sephiroth. I don't have to drink wine if I'm the first lady. Ivana? That's cool. Thank you for that link. Sounds pretty interesting. Monkey picked oolong tea. $25 for 2 ounces.
Why is so important? Oolong monkey.
The monkeys go up onto the sides of cliffs to pick this tea.
Oh, that's special.
Check it out.
Check it out. Okay.
Alright.
No, actually, that's not true. I mean, Planet X says people living in the White House only eat organic food. Hillary is on record actually forcing her cook, who now is dead, by the way. He died in a ditch in a riverbed about 8 months ago. The cook for the Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton he actually was forced to cook with GMO food. Seriously.
Peace and light to you too, Voodoo Vanguard. peace and light and love, happiness and all that good stuff. I don't know, maybe the monkeys do fall sometimes. I'll move back.
Yeah, poor monkeys are being exploited. The oolong tea monkeys, I bet they don't even get a paycheck. They're probably being, used, monkey labor.
David does have a nice tie, yes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, what happens when the school system, it's not a monetary issue? Yeah, it is a monetary issue. We're spending too much money on schools. We need to focus on teachers.
Yeah, we need to hire more teachers.
Yeah, the administrators are making too much money. Administration is too costly right now in our school system. The No Child Left Behind Act, which should have been repealed because it doesn't provide equal protection under the law. Another example where equal protection is not served. Schools shouldn't be singled out for having poor test scores and not receiving funding. I mean, that's crazy. We should have stopped that then, and now we're looking at this really a core curriculum problem, which is, again, over-testing, not properly apportioning money where it should go. More teachers. More teachers, less testing. That's my plan.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
More teachers, less testing.
Yeah, more teachers, less testing. Let's make that our plan.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Kids need more teachers and less testing. Okay, let me pull down the scrim of ugliness in the background.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay.
That's much better.
Thank you. I wanted to show you the taste of the future.
Tech Tuesday. Usually we do tech on Thursday.
Yeah. Colonel Sanders. That's nice.
It's Truth Tuesday. Enlightening.
Bill is not living, really? I mean, I didn't know Bill had brain cancer. That's news to me. Gold is hovering at 1254 and silver is hovering at 15. I mean, not much going on in the stock market. It dropped below 17,000. There you go. Leading you out of your mom's basement. Let's see what we've got here. Voodoo Vanguard. Thank you. So let's see. This will make it our plan. I'm just going to write our new plan out. More teachers, less testing. I like it.
That way all kids can experience joy of having a teacher that cares about them.
Yeah.
And has time to spend more one-on-one with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
To teach them things.
I like it.
And they don't have the pressure of all the tests all the time.
I know.
Of course you can have a test to graduate, but we test kids every single year, starting in 3rd grade all the way up. It's just it's too much.
Overkill.
It is. It's a lot of stress on the students. It's a lot of stress on the teachers.
That's right, yeah.
It's a lot of stress.
It is. It's not necessary. Assessments can be done in small ways. They don't need constant assessments. And, kids are not going to learn from these tests. That's the truth. They're not going to learn from testing. All right. You're going to ask Sir David about NASA ion generator. Yeah, we were talking about ion generators. They have the ability to create electricity. We saw a great video of a young man, a 13-year-old. Did you see this video?
I didn't watch it yet.
Oh, it's really interesting. I'll show it to Sarah later. But he has an electronic energy accumulator developed. He did it with copper and induction fields around his house. And he's pulling electromagnetic energy from the RF frequencies in the house.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is the same idea that guy I met a few years ago was working on. He has an ion generator he submitted to Boeing. Mm-hmm. They took the patent idea and they never gave it back to him. Oh, and he gave me a copy of the patent too. And we discussed an ion generator. Tethering something in the atmosphere with a long metallic rope way up in the atmosphere. It could be multiple balloons. It could be, a stream of balloons sitting in the atmosphere tethered to the ground. And they can create a tremendous amount of electricity. And this is using the same field energy that Tesla had discovered in the 1890s. And he was unable to implement back when J.P. Morgan controlled the copper wire. The truth is he squashed Tesla but Tesla's ideas are still very real and very likely going to be implemented eventually.
All of the U.S. House members and representatives and state House and state representatives will go into the classroom and teach 1 week a year, and they will know that the system is good.
Right. So now we can go guest back on. And again, kids don't like testing, and they don't learn from the testing. So what do you guys think? Do you think we should have more testing or less testing? I like less testing. I know the kids are going to be very benefiting from that.
Right.
Teachers can assess in smaller ways with quizzes. They don't need big tests. You know something, with the 2 weeks of testing that the teachers are taking up, they're wasting 2 weeks that they could be teaching the kids. You know, that's my argument all along.
Well, not only that, but it's not just the 2 weeks, it's all the preparation for the test, because they have to make sure that they know how to navigate on the computer, and there's different ones, like they have to take practice tests, like, and then they come across the practice test and it says like click on a sentence. I mean, they have to do all of those to make sure that they know how to do those things.
Yeah, that's right. They do. They have a lot of training that has to go in. The testing takes weeks beyond the preparation that they take just to do the testing.
Yes, more teachers, smaller class sizes.
Yeah, smaller class sizes is definitely guaranteed with more teachers. Yeah, so tonight's a good discussion of education. I'm glad we touched on this.
More
and I want
individualized teaching.
I want to remind people that we're not going to be able to promise the ridiculous socialist concept that Hillary and Bernie are offering, the free education for a 4-year education. I did the numbers. It would cost $7 trillion for us to do that. And if we were to give everybody in America like $1,000 a month, the cost is closer to $2 trillion per year. More than our budget can afford. We only make about $2 trillion in tax revenue at a government level from the GDP. So, it's highly unlikely we're going to be able to finance a full 4-year education. But our 6-week, 6-month plan is very viable. And we can finance that, where you partner up with private business in your area and they guarantee you a job if you pull a B average. Those are our ideas for education. Along with shrinking the Department of Education to 50% of the manpower that it currently expends out. All right, next question. Anyway, thank you for coming in.
Mentalists.
You're so nice to spend some time with me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
This concludes the evening's show, and I'll spend some more time with people. I want to talk to everybody.
Right.
We're kind of debriefing. I think we need to debrief after the beginning of our show. And last night's attack we got on our news text section. I couldn't believe this guy was attacking our show, and I think he may have attempted to DDoS us today. No, anything above a B average or above is what I'm shooting for. If you have a B average, that's great. But I think hiring C+ students is not the way to go at this point. At the 6-week to 6-month program will be B and A.
If you're test someone, you could test them to hire them.
Yeah.
Instead of testing them all the time.
Yeah, just hire them. Work study programs could be initiated in our community colleges too. Say you want to work at a business, and the business needs employees. They'll pay you a base minimum salary, and you'll learn at the same time, and you'll get a 6-week certification from the company. These 6-week to 6-month certifications are going to be privately donated by the companies that hire people. And if they don't want to pay for the education process, the government can kick in and give you guys tuition money to do this. But people will be paid to teach, and students will want to get a free education. But can we afford a 4-year or 2-year plan? No, we can't. There's no way we can. Not in our nation. Thank you. Retweet.
Thanks, 927.
All right. Thank you for monitoring the channel. I don't even know who that person is, but they attacked me on the show last night. It was like I was accosted on my own news network. My news show, on the news text section, I was being accosted. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Okay, what do we have here? CDN, MEMI, instances.
Okay.
Thanks. Is that is like mobster intimidation move you did, Beekman? Did you do that yourself? Secret service spy. We want to work with all the freebies handed out. Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure anyone wants to work with all the freebie handouts. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fans.
More freebie handouts for everybody. Freebie handouts down the road. Everybody who wants freebie handouts, come on, come and get them. People love free stuff.
Good. Well.
Where down?
Oh, I said now I do think I will sleep well.
Oh, good. I hope you do. Okay, all freebies go to the right, and all people who want to be exploited go to the left.
Okay, good night. All people that want to go to bed, go to bed.
Yes, enjoy. Well, we're trying to. We had to extend our time a little bit because we've had impairment. We've had censorship, and the networks have not been behaving properly for us. Tune curriculum to make a nation of Mensa, not nation of mind drones. Excellent chat. Voodoo Vanguard, thank you. We got a Voodoo Vanguard is over parked in the other network. I'm not going to name the name, but when we have both networks on our America's Third Party site, we can chat with many different people at the same time. Exit stage left. And actually, the freebies are coming from the left. They're talking about, in Canada, Justin Trudeau's talking about giving everybody a solid amount of money. And Canada can't afford it. I don't know who's doing the numbers up there, but their dollar is already tanked considerably, and if they do that, it'll affect the value of their dollar. It undermines the functionality of their economy, their GDP is affected. How can they afford 30 million people to get $1,000 a month? Like Netherlands is giving that, Finland is giving 900. Oh, evil to dance. No, my viewers are waiting to get into the chat room. I think you don't understand. This has been censorship from the very beginning. We've built back up from various sources. We've also got a new coming up blog show that's going to be really interesting. The old network's getting revived. I can't get over it. These guys are 60% on their way to reviving that network, the old blog network. Well, Sephiroth, I'd get the viewership over there, but I avoided listening to the Battle Cam show for some time because we weren't getting respect we needed from Alki David. I'll tell you, I'll get no respect. Here, guest 195 has been waiting 60 minutes to get into this chat. So that's classic proof right there, guest 195. I'm going to print screen that. Thank you so much. That's a good thing. I'm going to take that and put it in my little file because that tells me that, yeah, people are having a hard time getting in. It's definite censorship. I'm not paranoid. It really is happening. Great show. Thank you, Metallic Mentalist, for saying that. It's kind of you. We do a show day and night. We've been doing 7,000 plus hours of broadcasting nonstop for 7 years. That's what we do. Where's Paintbox? Come on. Here it is. Oh, right, Walton, sure. People can say whatever they want. We know what's going on. We know his site doesn't have any problem when he's broadcasting. We have nothing but problems on ours. That's called unfair. I'm sorry. Okay. Access problem. Okay, good. All right, it's good to document things too. Whenever you're facing a problem in your life, write down the necessary details. It's good. They recommend it. Keep a notepad of what's happening in your life. No, I'm not really happy with that network. It's not that wonderful. iBlog? Nah, I'm not that impressed. Well, the group has been brainwashed, Dr. No. Dr. No, just to get you in the know, the group was brainwashed. Brainwashing has been going on in America. If you don't recognize it, it's serious. I know. If you ever need protection, thank you, Metallic Mentalist. I've got people out there who want to protect me. That's great. Unfortunately, that's not something I can't afford right now. So, you guys have a life. I can't have you parked out in front of my house in a tent. I appreciate the offer, though. How do I get a hold of you in the event we need you? You can write an email at AmericasThirdParty@gmail.com. That's what you can do if you really want to make your effort, legit. Do you have security forces right now? I'm not losing viewers about Evil Dance Too Good. Viewers are just frustrated, and they don't realize they can go to my website at America's Third Party to see our show. Yeah, it's totally happening. And we've been aware of it for some time, and no one can deny it at this point. It took an hour for one of our viewers to get in the show tonight. Look at that. Just to chat. Is that unbelievable or what? My God. An hour. We have a copy of it. So you can find the chat and a video signal playing real well. Hello there, TKO. Over at the B Network. Thank you. It took you 24 hours to get in one night? I believe you. Scissor fight. What do you have there? Oh yeah, there you go. This is something you guys can do to have a heads up when you see a speed trap coming up. Say something. Yeah. What a lot of people do is flicker their lights into the oncoming traffic. It's totally legal. You're just informing people coming that there's a speed trap up ahead. I really benefit from that when I'm a driver. I see people flashing lights just to alert me there's a cop up ahead. Not that I go fast normally. I don't. But it gives you a heads up that there's a speed, issue happening. Right. Okay, we got a video, some sort of a picture that Beekman drew. We've had a problem on our server just now on another network. We could be getting a DDoS attack. We've had a few of them over the years we've had to deal with. So this is just one of the many. Why you no vote America's a third party, huh? It's interesting. Thanks, Beekman. That's cool. It's free speech. Okay, you're a commie? I don't want a commie taking over. Well, I would think that Trump would be on to me. He's been borrowing my ideas for how long? For the past year, he's grabbed ideas I created in in 2008. I came up with all these ideas, and it's all going to be readily seen on our new and improved site. We're coming up with our old site link, and you'll be able to go to the old site and look at all the old ideas we had. But our new ideas are our platform, basically, which is a honed, defined, solution-based plan for America to rebuild and to help create jobs and help fix the economy, help get venture capitalists out of this scenario and focus on just government opportunities producing products that will be able to be customized. So if you want to install a solar panel on a rooftop, you've got a job, and we'll be able to provide you the rollout carpet-like solar rooftop to do that. An installation team will actually make a serious amount of money. You could make a couple $1,000s simply rolling a carpet of solar panels out on top of a roof. And you and a team of 4 other people or 3 other people, 4 people is basically what would be needed. Make the necessary connections and put an inverter system in and tag it into the electric, and you'll be trained to do that at a community college. $2,000, split 4 ways. Days work or 2 days work. That's not bad. It's a great idea. I mean, out there working during the day, make a couple $100. Simple, easy, plug and play. You simply got to be able to stand on a roof and hold a electric drill and screw in after you epoxy all the way around. So you'll be dealing with some messy extrusion equipment like a silicon gun. We'll have massive, we'll be buying in wholesale, so we'll be able to do this very cheap. silicon all the way around, matting it down solid on your rooftop, and then ribboning it in every, say, 4 feet, 3 to 4 feet. Pretty cool. And it'll be a weatherproof solution for your rooftop as well. You won't have to re-roof. 40 years we're expecting from these solar panels. I know. Solar power has been down since they're making skies darker with chemtrails. And all that's going to stop when I become president. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, in my perfect world, I issue an injunction against any flights that are not authorized by the FAA when I become president. We then pursue a direct... we're going to take the Justice Department and move rapidly at arresting about 200 of these chemtrail pilots that are currently operating. They'll be under house arrest initially, and we'll put them into an enclosed facility, and we'll be debriefing them and finding out exactly what the whole deal is and who's paying for these operations. We also want to make sure that they have a way out of their situation. We certainly don't want to have trained pilots not fulfill their capabilities. I mean, pilots are very, in demand. But will we be able to pay them to dump chemicals on your head? No, we won't. They could fly the blimp plane. Tonight, we don't have a lot of write-in results, Potato Girl, because they only count 25,000 votes or more, and many states didn't even have a write-in. There was no write-in place in the primary. So we're up against the general, and every state except for 2 will have a write-in position. Louisiana and Oklahoma, you won't be able to write me in. That's just the way it is. Yeah, force them in a room to breathe the crap they're... Exactly. Punishment is definitely in order. But yeah, we got to stop this chemtrail activity. It's absurd. And when I look at the science behind the chemtrail activity, it's scary. They've assumed a radical position. The elitists have decided this is the reason why they're doing it. The elitists have decided that they wanted to take an aggressive stance against the UVC radiation that's coming at our Earth because of the greenhouse gas crisis. Instead of getting rid of carbon pollution, they've decided instead to dump more carbon in the atmosphere with the premise that they can somehow levitate carbon out higher into the mesosphere. And all this comes from this person, David Keith, who talks about it.
This is a new idea that's crept up that may be essentially a clever idea than putting sulfates in. Whether this idea is right or some other idea is right, I think it's almost certain that we will eventually think of cleverer things to do than just putting sulfur in. That if engineers and scientists really turn their minds to this, it's amazing how it can affect the planet. The one thing about this is it gives us extraordinary leverage. This improved science and engineering will, whether we like it or not, give us more and more leverage to affect the planet, to control the planet, to give us weather and climate control, not because we plan it, not because we want it, just because science delivers it to us bit by bit, with better knowledge of the way the system works and better engineering tools to affect it. Now suppose that space aliens arrived on, maybe they're going to land at the UN headquarters down the road here, or maybe they'll pick a smarter spot, but suppose they arrive and they give you a box. And the box has 2 knobs. One knob is the knob for controlling global temperature. Maybe another knob is a knob for controlling CO2 concentrations. You might imagine that we would fight wars over that box because we have no way to agree about where to set the knobs. We have no global governance, and different people will have different places they want it set. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. It's not very likely. But we're building that box. The scientists and engineers of the world are building it piece by piece in their labs, even when they're doing it for other reasons, even when they're thinking they're just working on protecting the environment. They have no interest in crazy ideas like engineering the whole planet. They develop science that makes it easier and easier to do. And so I guess my view on this is not that I want to do it, I do not, but that we should move this out of the shadows and talk about it seriously, because sooner or later we'll be confronted with decisions about this, and it's better if we think hard about it, even if we want to think hard about reasons why we should never do it. I'll give you 2 different ways to think about this problem that are the beginning of my thinking about how to think about it. But what we need is not just a few oddballs like me thinking about this. We need a broader debate, a debate that involves musicians, scientists, philosophers, writers who get engaged with this question about climate engineering and think seriously about what its implications are. So here's one way to think about it, which is that we just do this instead of cutting emissions because it's cheaper. I guess the thing I haven't said about this is it is absurdly cheap. It's conceivable that, say, using the sulfates method or this method I've come up with, you could create an ice age at a cost of 0.001% of GDP. It's very cheap. We have a lot of leverage. It's not a good idea.
Listen to his words closely right here. This is really important. Now, they've already gone ahead with this idea that he came up with because it's absurdly cheap. But they're planning on levitating carbon into the mesosphere. And they're not even factoring in gravity. There was a dump of tar-like material in Michigan last week. It happens frequently. You see clumps of this crap that they're putting in the atmosphere, literally draining on cars. Tar. Literally tar on top of cars.
Yeah, but it's just important. I tell you how big the lever is. The lever is that big. And that calculation isn't much in dispute. You might argue about the sanity of it, but the leverage is real.
They're laughing.
So because of this, we could deal with the problem simply by stopping reducing emissions, and just as concentrations go up, we can increase the amount of geoengineering.
They're laughing. He's telling them something that's literally being deployed right now as we speak. And they think it's a joke. It's absurdly cheap to keep pushing amounts of aerosols into the atmosphere, dumping tons of this crap in there with the intent of somehow levitating it into the mesosphere. It's incredibly cheap to dump toxic industrial waste in the atmosphere. That's what he's saying. And he's got people believing him who are really, really rich. I'm not a psychopath, and I can tell you, I can spot a man who doesn't seem to have any clear concern for the outcome of what he's saying. All right, so let's listen some more to this, what I consider a charlatan, at the very least, claiming to have knowledge of something he's not even factoring in gravity when he discusses these particles.
I don't think anybody takes that seriously. Because under this scenario, we walk further and further away from the current climate. You have all sorts of other problems like ocean acidification that come from CO2 in the atmosphere. Anyway, nobody but maybe one or two very odd folks really suggest this. But here's a case which is harder to reject. Let's say that we don't do geoengineering, we do what we ought to do, which is get serious about cutting emissions. But we don't really know how quickly we have to cut them. There's a lot of uncertainty about exactly how much climate change is too much. So let's say that we work hard and we actually don't just tap the brakes, but we step hard on the brakes and really reduce emissions and eventually reduce concentrations. And maybe someday like 2075, October 23rd, we finally reach that glorious day where concentrations have peaked and are rolling down the other side. And we have global celebrations and we've actually started to, we've seen the worst of it. But maybe on that day, we also find that the Greenland ice sheet is really melting unacceptably fast. Fast enough to put meters of sea level on the oceans in the next 100 years and remove some of the biggest cities from the map. That's an absolutely possible scenario. We might decide at that point that even though geoengineering was uncertain and morally unhappy, that it's a lot better than not geoengineering. And that's a very different way to look at the problem. It's using this as risk control, not instead of action. It's saying that you do some geoengineering for a little while to take the worst of the heat off, not that you use it as a substitute for action. But there is a problem with that view, and the problem is the following. Knowledge that geoengineering is possible makes the climate impacts look less fearsome, and that makes a weaker commitment to cutting emissions today. This is what economists call a moral hazard. And that's one of the fundamental reasons that this problem is so hard to talk about. And in general, I think it's the underlying reason that it's been politically unacceptable to talk about this. But you don't make good policy by hiding things in a drawer.
Well, they certainly have. They've made good policy out of hiding things in a drawer, and they've gotten his expert testimony to justify the pollution and the abstract destruction of our environment. Legal cannabis is doing to drug cartels what Netflix did to Blockbuster. Yeah, big, huge changes. Thanks for that image, Scissor Fight. Big, huge changes in the benefit of legalization in 20 states now. We're seeing a big profit margin cut from the drug cartels, just as I predicted 8 years ago. So yeah, it's been going on, and we have to keep moving in that direction, for sure. Great. Good news. All right, so that kind of wraps up the mindset of David Keith, and he's not the actor in Officer and Gentleman, by the way. Beekman, that's not that was a sick, disturbing picture of me. Yeah, that's a disturbing picture. It's not a good thing. No, my lips are not black. They're all good. You're looking at some sort of a video glitch or something. It's an archiving glitch. It might be an actual photograph enhancement due to... I'll purge that because I find the pictures disturbing. I mean, it's not a very favorable picture of me. I've done 7,000 plus hours of video. I mean, this could be an amazing realization to you that because I put so much energy into this, I sometimes actually look off during the shot. So when you stare into the picture, you begin to lose your mind slowly because what you're experiencing is a gradual assimilation of your neurons. You're slowly melting into a backward cycle of de-evolution, only to realize that I'm here at all times fighting for your freedom. And I'm in there struggling every night, putting in a full 3.5, 4 hour, we're going on 4 hours and 20 minutes, talking to you every night. Now begin to realize that I'm helping, not hurting, helping, okay? And that's something a lot of you are having a hard time with. I'm a helper. I heal people. I don't hurt people.
You and me.
Thank you.
ATP, you and me.
So I hope you're having fun tonight. It's been a wonderful experience. I can't tell you how great this is going to be tonight. I'm going to go lay down and chill and do Netflix and chill. Thank you for that great image there. Yeah, so we are trying to help. Yeah. It's not in any way Illuminatic in imagery. No, you're freaking out because you've watched too much Alex Jones, the shill. The shill known as Alex Jones. Yeah, I'm the anti-Alex Jones, anti-shill presidential candidate. Yeah, there's the only thing Illuminati in your life is your brain. It's completely fried because they've engineered your mind. The truth is the National Education Association was developed by the Rockefellers so that you become good consumers and mindlessly consume things because that's what you do well. You know, it's in your nature. I don't think great sex is possible right now. I'm having a hard time accepting the reality that it's a work week, you know. I mean, it's hard to, you know, have sex during a work week. Let's show you what we got here.
Yeah, it's very important we communicate what we're doing to the public. We're very interested in making sure everyone knows what we're doing. We're not, we're a civilian space agency dedicated to science and research and so on. So we're very, very keen to make sure that the taxpayers know what we're doing and everything. So,
well, you know, when the article came out in the major newspapers, including the Huffington Post, there was no mention of lithium. Not one. Not one mention of lithium. Until I heard the recording of the actual, I listened to it. I listened to the rockets go off. I had no idea there was going to be a lithium dispersed until I heard payload, lithium dispersed.
Right, there was lithium dispersed, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. I think you might be under some misconceptions about what we're doing, but I'm happy to tell you any details
Well, I know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day. The wind blows them around. They glow either on their own or from scattered sunlight. We take pictures and we can see how the wind trail moves around.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance.
Okay, so you're going to lie to us about everything, NASA scientists?
Can't stop.
Can't stop.
We can't stop. We can't stop.
All right, this has been great.
We won't stop. We're gonna dance all
We
night.
want magnetic motors. We want 0-point energy. We're not going to take it. Anything less is not good enough.
So let's be clear.
Well, let's be clear.
Coming election year, please vote for David Spawn High. America's Third Party.
Spawn for president. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop. Can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight.
All right. A brand new plan for jobs. Rooftop revolution. 0-point energy. That's the way to do it. Let's fix this problem, everybody. People exercising. This is good. Thank you. I like that. This is America working their butt off. Of course, these are not just African Americans working their butt off, but that's great. All right, thank you. And don't forget our great flat tax, way better than Trump's. Big selling feature. Yeah, yowza. And we want to bring our troops home and the Federal Reserve. Don't forget that. And the quintessential solution is, unlike Hillary, who doesn't want to legalize marijuana, I want to legalize marijuana. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. That was fun. Okay, so this concludes our broadcasting extension, which I did just for those of you who didn't really get enough of us. Increasing funding for perpetual machines and decreasing funding for NASA is what I have planned. 0-point energy solutions. We want to get NASA to run with a return on investment, run like a business. Big difference. We got another image from Scissor Fight. At this point, what difference does it make, really, though? Thanks for coming in, everyone. Yeah. I don't think that's a good thing. I'm not here to talk about Trump in a favorable way. Pissing off other countries is not what I would want to do. I would make an agreement with Vladimir Putin to pull out of Syria. I would have no interest in fighting a war in Syria or in the Ukraine. So we would peacefully work some détente with Russia. China is going to like the approach we have. We don't I don't have a personal problem with their buildup of that base in the South China Seas. I'm not into saber rattling. I understand they have vested interests in that regional water, so I would certainly make peace with China as well. In no way would I stimulate a unfair tax like Trump is putting out. My flat tax of 10% on anything over 100,000 is way more powerful than his 1, 10, 5, 10, 15 dime store idea. I don't believe that that's going to work. I believe taxing the lowest income workers in the country is not a beneficial thing for our nation. We need to get people a chance to hand up to get out of the situation they're in. So why would we don't want to tax people that make less than 100,000? It's crazy. You guys have a write-in campaign going on with me. If you don't understand that, I'm trying to convince you guys that your two-party choice is a waste of your vote. If you don't get that, that's been at the basis of our show. The idea of just throwing your vote away for a Republican or a Democrat, they're both going to create the imminent death and destruction to the planet. This is a write-in chance to force a recount. And if you don't get that, you don't understand what we're doing here. It's that simple. Let me levitate for you. I'll be like the Dalai Lama and float. Okay, well, I'm not into buying your vote either. All right, but I appreciate your misunderstanding of the potential political crisis our country's facing, with the two parties literally doing whatever the elitists want them to do. Your chances of ever getting anything are nothing. Let me ask all of you a simple question. Did you get any money from Barack Obama? I mean, don't count unemployment insurance, because some of you cashed in nearly 40 grand. I get that. But did you get any money to start a business? Did you get any money at all in loans for U.S. citizens to start making products that would be helpful for our country? No. So you've already seen 7, 8 years of Democratic stupidity, inability to understand the dynamic of our economic crisis, almost a mindless decision to cover up all the real aspects of this economic meltdown. The Democrats said we were out of the recession in 2010. They announced that to everybody. When we've never been out of a recession. In fact, it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's a gradual depression. And the Democrats don't want to be known as the party that did this. So they won't even ask the question, did they do this? They won't even question anything Hillary did. They won't question Benghazi. And oh, they shut down whenever you talk about Benghazi. Oh, God. When in reality, Hillary herself went searching for how to get rid of her emails online. This came up in the Trey Gowdy investigation. It wasn't public knowledge. They didn't talk about it in the mainstream media. But Hillary admitted in that investigation that she actually did a search for a way to get rid of emails, as well as how to do mind control. Believe it or not, there was a search for that. All our ideas are way more original and preceded Gary Johnson by 7 years. I've been doing this with complete censorship. Gary Johnson's been getting free advertising. And need I remind you, he actually sells cannabis oil and he makes money. Yeah. Serious. He's making serious cash bank. A lot of these people are profiteers in the Republican/Libertarian Party. You don't want a profiteer as a president. And if you want a profiteer as a president, you're going to get Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. And that's going to push this country to the edge. Because, frankly, they're not going to help you in any way profit. Profiteers always exploit others. And if they'll talk about medical marijuana will be pushed, meaning you will have to get a license and registration, and you jump through all kinds of financial hoops if you want to be a part of their little plan to make Gary Johnson more money. That's right. But I'm not here to promote his campaign. Tonight I'm going to be watching a Psych. I was thinking of Psych would be good. I haven't seen it. There's like 100 episodes. It's got 5 stars. It's about a guy who does psychic help for cops. I thought that would be interesting. I'm done with Nurse Jackie for now. I don't know if they're in repeat in their 8th year or not. My gender? I'm clearly a dude, yeah. What's my number? I don't have a number. I'm 55 years old. Now you're struck with the bill. Are you an absolute idiot, Cat's Tail? Yeah, apparently you are. We're not sure why you're in the room. You're so extremist in your thinking. Cat's Tail wants to punish anybody for doing anything. He's all about punishment. All right, so this has been fun. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I'm going to sign off. We are going to leave you with music and videos all the way into the evening till the wee hours. Thanks for coming into America's Third Party. I appreciate the time to give you my viewpoints. We're now going to news and tech. We will probably encounter God knows who. Somebody claiming he's in control of the news tech section. I mean, how pathetic is that? We had an encounter last night with a guy named Sky something. Wow. So this is what we stand for, far different than the dictatorial style of Donald Trump. Liberty, your rights to bear arms, equality, everybody get the same paycheck for the same job, so women and men don't get unfair wage differentials, and a sustainable plan for the country where we don't have to borrow money like Donald Trump. That's all he does, is borrow. We don't want another borrower. We need to get our nation solvent. Thanks everybody for coming in. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next recorded broadcast. See ya.